up, dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of canine. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear your shade. Talking that shop, you must want this way. Look the dog palm, mess around, find out, Look the dog palm, mess around, find out, For some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're ready for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that. The dog palm, mess around, find out. Detroit basketball. What up, though? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show featuring Sarah Boss, aka the Boss. Yes, she has returned. Last game she was at the Denver Nuggets game. Who were they playing last game? The Kings?
Yes, the Kings. So I got to see Schroeder. I got to see Westbrook's return.
Hey.
It was pretty interesting. It was a good game. And, you know, it really, especially after tonight, it really reinforced to me that, yeah, Schroeder was good for us, but he's also surrounded by, you know, Levine, DeRozan, Sabonis guys out there, and they're not winning either. So he's not the missing piece that some people might think he was.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
But
yes, that's cool. You got a chance to go, though. It was hard holding it down without you here, you know, like having to multitask without you was a task. But we got through it, right, chat? Right, chat? But they do miss you, as you can see. Ryan, what's up? GVH, y'all saying free. They were saying free boss last stream. I was like, damn, y'all don't care about me at all. But hey, it ain't the same without you here. So, But yeah, man. So look, how you feeling? I got a little drinky drink, got a little Jack and Coke. I'm feeling good after the night. How you feeling?
Nice, jealous. I should have told me. I would have joined. But
I got you next time.
I'm feeling relieved that we won. I'm feeling grateful that the Jazz also had bench didn't show up for them.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that we won. That's what I'm going to take from this. We saw, you know, some really good flashes of things, but some things that were also just off. So we're just lucky the Jazz were off as well.
Yeah.
But I kind of knew going into the second with our energy that we would pull it out, and I'm glad we did.
It wasn't perfect, right? But it's just one of those games where it's like, all right, we'll take a dub and learn along the way. Tom, what up, though? Detroit basketball. Gotta hit it for Tom because Tom showed up again, showing love as always. Yes, Cade is him, Tom. Cade is him, bro, for sure. And you are getting love in the chat per usual, man. So we appreciate you showing up as you always do, bro. As always, man. But yeah, man. So chat, you guys asked for the dog pound intro tonight, and ask and you shall receive, man. But it was definitely worthy of that for sure, because it's so many different directions you can go in tonight as far as this game. Boss, I'm going to let you lead it off as far as with the initial thoughts. But before we get there, for anybody who did not watch this game, the Pistons just concluded their home matchup with the Utah Jazz, and they pick up their fourth straight dub, 114-103. And improved to 6-2 on the regular season. They are now in the second spot in the Eastern Conference. They're now the second seed. The highest they ever got last year, boss, if I'm wrong, correct me, was the fifth seed. So for them to already be at 6-2 in the second seed, last year we were at, I think it took us 39 games to get to 500 or above 500. We were at 2019. Yeah. So for us to be 4 games above 500 in 8 games, just shows you the growth from one season to the next, right? But if you guys remember too, boss, if you recall, last year the Pistons lost a game to the Jazz that they should have won for sure. They came back and beat them the next time, beat them bad. But that first game against the Jazz was a stinker, man. So I was just like, I hope they had that in their mind, like come out this game and get this dub, put these guys away. And they did. It wasn't pretty, but they got it done when they needed to. And we're going to talk about why in a few. Final thing, boss, and I'm going to let you take off.
Yeah.
injury report. So Walker Kessler was out for the Jazz. I think he's out for the season too.
Yeah, he had surgery.
Okay. Yes, that's a tough blow for them, but even more so a reason for the Pistons to dominate on the glass. Marcus Sasser once again was out, missed his 8th straight game. That hip impingement is still bothering him. He's yet to see the court. Also missing the 2nd straight game with Tobias Harris with the right ankle sprain. And both of those guys were on the injury report yesterday. So I knew that, it wasn't a game time decision. So that may tell me that they may be out a little bit longer, maybe at least another game, at least for the both of them, but we'll see. But the silver lining, at least for me, hopefully for you guys after tonight, is that we get to see more Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart. Yes. And so the Pistons went with their starting 5 of Cade, Duncan Robinson, Ausar, Isaiah Stewart, and JD. And like Boss kind of alluded to, it was a little bit up and down. You could tell they're still trying to get, iron some things out, with guys getting comfortable playing together in this lineup. So I'm not too concerned about that. But I do think there's a conversation, Boss, that needs to be had about a certain player in the starting 5. I'm not going to get to it right now because it's early, but I'm keeping my eye on that. So with that, now that I said all that got out the way, initial thoughts for you, Boss. What did you see in this game without getting too deep into the box scores and all that good stuff?
Yeah, well, Jalen Duren popped off, 22 points, 22 rebounds. We'll get there, but fantastic. It's like Isaiah's big game was the last one. His was this one. The two bigs seems to be working well. I did see good defense, even though it was kind of slow on offense. I think Ron did his job. I think Ausar did great. I think Duren, Stewart, I think everyone played decent defense. And some of the shots that they were taking were just, this happened to go in on good D. I think Svi had one over Ausar that was like perfectly defended. Some of them we couldn't help. But we really, we kept Markkanen shut down until the end. We really messed with Keyonte George. This was one of his worst games of the season. Like he's still been really good for them. Some of the shots weren't connecting when they should have. We had some offensive rhythm just go out of whack, but we pulled it together and we got the job done. Something that we couldn't do 2 years ago. So that's a plus. There were a lot of plus and a lot of ugly. Nothing too terrible, but a couple highlight plays, but that's about it. Not a highlight game for sure. So I'm glad we pulled out the win.
Yeah. It was some frustrating moments for me. It's like with the Pistons with these games, these last 2 games should have been blowouts.
Yeah.
It's like they just need to learn how to finish possessions and execute a little bit better. You see them play great defense and then a foul late in the shot clock. Yeah. You'll see them get a turnover and then turn over right back. Like just things, just finishing the play. But you can see them getting better. It's just those things. Those are the separators between being able to separate yourself from a team and being able to let them hang around. And it happened the last 2 games. Yeah. So it's just something to keep in mind and keep working on. It's just they're still ironing things out. It's a young team. They're still learning how to play together. You do see the growth and you do see the effort. So as long as that is there, then I think they can build off that. I'm okay with that. But I just hope at some point they're able to really be able to capitalize and just put teams away, put their foot on their neck and allow some of their starters to chill a little bit. Absolutely.
Here, I have a question for Chuck, who just came in with this comment. There's no way Cade, plays the way he plays and only gets to the free throw line 2 times. Was that a direct JP quote from the post game? Because we didn't get to see that. Let us know, because I love that about that. Because it's true. Because he was being bumped and stuff. And yeah, some of our fouls were obvious on the Jazz, but they really just let them. Yeah, all over Cade. There were a couple times his arms are being grabbed. He's like that one towards the end where he missed 2 threes and then drove it in. He was being pulled from behind. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, exactly. Here, Zion says Cade having 2 free throws after being hit on every drive is so nasty by the refs. And he still did what he did. Late in the game, after getting beat up, what you're going to get to. That dude is something else, man. I want to get to this. This is funny. Devon says, why was Grant Long repeating everything Deuce says after the game? He said he's going to call Ron Crash and JD Stewart like the Wallace times. Yeah, we've been talking about that. But shout out to Grant Long. I got a lot of respect for him. I met him a couple years ago. Real cool dude. He knows his basketball, man. So I'm not even going to take credit for that. But Devon, that was funny for sure. Yeah. Go ahead. Keep going. Confirmed it. Yeah. He just confirmed that was a direct quote from him. Okay. So I'm glad that he said that, because it is true. And, we're not a team to complain about it. So I'm glad that he spoke up. And, that messes with Cade's rhythm when he's not getting, when he's going for the shots he's getting fouled. The ball's not going in. He's not getting a call. It's frustrating. And I even texted you after the 3rd. He was going to the bench. He was mumbling. He was mad. I was like, he's going to top off in the 4th. And he did. Yeah, he did. Like, I'm either going to get these baskets or I'm going to get the foul call. And he got the baskets, not foul calls, but it paid off. So
right. No, definitely, man. It's once if and when he starts to get that whistle, it's just going to be so much like JD. It's going to be a lot more opportunity for him to be able to have these big scoring games without having to exert a ton of energy because he's just going to the line, knocking them down.
Right.
So as far as for me, you got any more initial thoughts?
No, just other than I also, told you that Keontae George is top 10 for drawing fouls in the league. How?
Keynote George. That's what I call him. Keynote George. But you're right. It's like, come on, man. Like, this is an all NBA player we're talking about here. A professionalism class. He's not even the kind of guy that gets on the refs or makes himself the villain with them. So it's like, come on, bro. What's he got to do? What's he got to do?
He's not
blocking. Right.
There's no neck breaks. There's no, he's going in and he's getting fouled and he's not selling it.
Yeah. So imagine if he was on his SGA tip.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't want to.
All right. So here are my initial thoughts. I got a couple things. I wanted to see the Pistons hit first in this game. We always talk about that, setting the tone, especially with Stu in the lineup defensively. I wanted them to set that tone. They came out the right way, energy-wise, right? You could see they tried to they got out to a little early lead, and then you could see it really could have ballooned had they just executed and finished those plays, right?
Yeah.
So I thought as far as the defense, they did a solid job with that, but they just couldn't separate because the execution offensively just wasn't there, which is natural when you make a lineup change. So once again, I'm not too concerned about that.
Right.
But because of that, boss, they found themselves down for most of the half because they just couldn't execute. They went up early, but they just were not able to get into a rhythm. But when they went to their bench unit, I noticed this too, boss. The offense sputtered. When Cade sat down, there was no flow. There was no even the go-to threat. And that's exactly why I think Tobias Harris will be perfect in that 6-man role off the bench, right? He can be the instant offense off the bench. You set the tone defensively with Stu in that first unit and allow Tobias to run the second unit offensively with guys like Paul Reed, Ron, Caris, Javonte, etc. So in the second half, they did turn their defense up even more, and they were able to execute better when they got in transition. And even in the half court, they just were executing better. But this time around, it was just much more crisp offensively. Yeah. Much more crisp offensively. And I forgot who said it, but in this game, they didn't even shoot that well this game.
No.
They were like, okay, so they finished 11 for 30 from 3, but they started off a lot worse than that.
Yes.
And they shot 13 for 22 from the free throw line.
Yeah.
So they left points on the board. They left a lot of points on the board. So had they just knocked down some free throws and knocked down a couple threes, this game really could have got blown open early in this game. But like the last game, it wasn't perfect. They're still working things out, so I'm not too concerned.
Yeah.
You got anything else on that?
No, I mean, there were a couple times that they took threes that I didn't think we needed to.
Yeah.
There was like 3 possessions in a row where different guys took threes. And I understand it. Like a 3 would, separate you, maybe get you hot, some momentum. But when it's that close and you're just trying to, disrupt another team's rhythm, you want to just get to the basket, get your shot. Don't force it up. But that's just me. Yeah. I'm not a huge, I don't love constant 3-point shooting. Yep. So, but that's
not how we win. That's never been how we won.
No. But yeah, I just got individual stuff, so I'm ready for box scores and everything.
Okay, cool. Let's get to a couple comments real quick because you guys are coming in hot.
Yeah.
CeeLo, and I see a lot of guys talking about the free throw shooting. I see Ryan, I see Detroit Drew. CeeLo says the last time we went 6-2 was 2009. I didn't realize that. I thought it was 2008 when we lost to the Celtics, but you could be right. But either way, it's been 15 plus years since we have gone 6-2 to start the season. Case Crack says Pistons haven't shot well all season, and we're 6-2. Exactly. It's starting with the defense. Exactly. We're lucky, but so much room for improvement. That's scary, right? You can just see the potential with all these young guys, the versatility we have on both ends of the court, right? That's why I wasn't so big on making a trade. Because if you can make a trade for a guy, you're trading away some of that versatility, which has been kind of the calling card for this team early this season. It's just that versatility. So I wanted to point that out. Maybe see any more comments I want to get to. Okay, I think we're good. And if you see anything else, you can throw it in here too.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's get to some box scores, boss. And let's start with C2. Cade Cunningham. Number 67 as far as ranked players last year, which is insane.
Yeah.
Tonight he had 31 points, guys, 10 assists, 3 turnovers. So once again, he's got better than a 3-to-1 assist turnover ratio. 46% shooting overall, 3 of 9 from 3. 2-2 from the free throw line in 37 minutes. So his minutes were high for me. It's not too crazy, but it was more than he should have played. I want to see more like in the 33, 34. But I'll let you lead it off, Bucks. What'd you see from Cade tonight?
Yeah, I think his minutes were high because nobody else really established themselves offensively. Nobody else was reliable for shots. I mean, the only other guy was Duren, but that's Cade's law partner. So Cade's got to be in there. Right. So I think that's why his minutes were high. I don't think he had a problem with that. I think that he was getting more frustrated as the game went on, and he wanted to go out there and show up. I mean, that's why they gave him 2 chances for those long threes. They were just like, yeah, have fun with it now, Cade. We got you. And that's why they were all crashing the boards for that, so they could clean it up if he didn't hit it. He's just such a good leader. And I just, both teams were kind of like in the last 4 minutes, like, let's just turn on our offense. Both of them, Markkanen and Cunningham, right. Like, we both just were like, let's play offense now, when it's basically over. They hung around too much for my liking. But man, Cade is just Cade. And he just, we are so lucky to have him that he was on it tonight. He started slow, picked it up in the second half, knew he would. Yeah, he did. I think he would have had more assists if we were, hitting our shots better. Yeah. The free throw stuff is just ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, what else can you say about Cade other than he's Cade Cunningham, Cade Cunningham, man, for sure. Real quick before I get to Cade, Abraham Syed says, we shouldn't trade for Lauri. And I 100% agree, because first of all, you think about the kind of guy we need at that 4th spot. He started tonight, the guy we needed at that spot, right? And if you're going to get a guy like Lauri, once again, you got to trade some of that defensive versatility. You're going to trade 2 or 3 pieces at least, plus a pick, plus another player just to get him. So it's like, you want all that for Lauri? You want to just keep Stewart the 4 and have this versatility and then figure it out later. You know what I mean? So I wanted to point that out. But go ahead. I just want to mention that Lauri also had 0 assists tonight. And that's something that Jaden Ivey gives for us, is points and assists. And Lauri's off to a good start this season, but I don't know. Yeah, I've never been team give up everything we have for him, because he's kind of up and down as well. But yeah, I'd rather just keep it how it is. But I'm glad you pointed out, because there are some people who are in that boat, and I see why, because they're producing points. I see why for them. But it's just the points. It's like, yeah, I know what you're saying. That's so true. I mean, he can get up there and block, but I don't know if he had one tonight. Let me check real quick. Nope, no blocks, no assists. That doesn't fit. Like, that doesn't fit who we are. No. Like, we'll get to the other players that also. I'll hold off on that. All right. Yeah. Let's get to our super chat. We got Maddie. What's going on, Maddie? First, I appreciate you, my dog. Says Cade Clutch Cunningham. I don't even call it the 4th quarter anymore. I just call it Cade's quarter. I 100% agree with you, bro, and I appreciate your support, my dog. So he leads us right into my thoughts on Cade. And the chant tonight at LCA, if you were there, kind of said it all. MVP. At the free throw line, they're just chanting it. And it's not nothing new. But I think at this point now, for the first time, it's really starting to become warranted, to where it's like, it fits, right? Okay, so first half, right? It seems like in the first half, for me, he was just more tactical, just more so trying to be a floor general, more so trying to help his guys get off and take what was there for himself when it was there. It's funny, you saw like on one play, I'm not sure if you saw it, but he had the ball in the post, top of the key, and Ron is to his right in the elbow, and he's signaling to Ron, like, get out of the way, bro, get out of the way. I want an ISO. So because he wanted to clear out, because Ron's guy was kind of hedging toward Cade for the exact reason that Cade wanted the ISO. He had a mismatch. So Ron cuts to the basket and Cade gets in that one. Like, so he's really just at this level now, being able to really just pick guys apart, pick the defense apart, and be able to take advantage of the best matchup, possession on possession on possession. So it's just good to see that growth from him, really just breaking down the defense and understanding and seeing what's the best move for the offense. And that's great. But like we mentioned, the offense as a whole in that first half did not have great flow. Yeah. But he got things going in that second quarter. He started getting a little bit more aggressive, making the right decisions. And him and JD got kind of involved in that pick and roll in the second quarter as well. But in the second half, man, he just took it over. He said, man, much like last game against the Mavericks, he just got super aggressive. Yeah. Started looking for his own. And in that fourth quarter, man, and like Maddie first said, man, fourth quarter, like Cade just took over. Much like the Mavs game, and he just took it over. He closed and he got whatever he wanted offensively. And he made it look easy. He made it look really, really easy, man. Like, and this is back-to-back games now. Last game, Cade scored 19 fourth quarter points to close out the Mavericks.
Tonight, Cade scored 19 fourth quarter points to close out the Jazz. So once again, man, he even took one from the logo. He thought he was Steph for a second. He got hot, had a little heat check, thought he was Steph. It came up short.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad at that. You know, when you're feeling it, you've earned the right to take a shot like that.
They were giving it to him. They wanted him to.
Yeah, they wanted him to. And the crowd wanted him to too. Everybody wanted him to. So I wasn't mad at it. Yeah. But he carried us, man. He put the team on his back in that fourth quarter and said, follow me.
Yep.
And he got it done. So once again, like I said before, the two biggest knocks on him last year were his turnovers. Mm-hmm. Check. Those are down.
Yep.
And his ability to close games. Check.
Mm-hmm.
So he is showing the growth, and that's what MVPs do. They close games. They don't let you hang around. When the game is on the line, despite how you're playing before that, they show up.
Yep.
In back-to-back games, Cade Cunningham has done that at a very high level, and he's now warranting those MVP chances for sure.
Absolutely. I just want to say, too, our back-to-back was the Grizz was the last game.
I'm sorry. You're right.
I'm just letting you know because I know you'll reference it going forward.
No, you're right.
In both games.
That's why you're here. So. That's why you're here. Yep.
But I mean, yeah, there's really just no other way to describe it. And it is like, it's crazy. Like his floaters are just nuts. Like you really do just expect them to go in. And like George Baugh and Greg Kelser are saying, like, it's like a layup to him. And like, that's when you know he's on because, you know, when he, hits the back of the rim with those, that's when he's off. But usually they're just right down the middle, easy.
Yep. Or they're just coming up short because he has no legs because he's so tired.
Hard. I should call them hard because they're very hard because he's never left open ever.
Right.
He has 4 or 5 guys on him at some point and he's still making these. So yeah, for sure. You're right. Chris says, Cade looking so good on the court without them turnovers. That's what's big time. Exactly, bro. We heard it all last year, and to some point it was warranted, got to get those turnovers down. People were saying he's not a point guard. That's when it started. All right, you like, bye-bye. Like, come on, y'all. But now he's just silencing all the doubters. Yep. He's just showing who and what he is. And you're seeing the offseason work really start to pay off for him now. So credit to him for putting in the work and continuing to get better. Yeah, that's all I got on Cade, man. He played great. Oh, the up and under finish. Did you see that? Yeah, the reverse.
Heisenberg saw it. Oh, my. He's had some nice finishes, man. To not be athletic.
Yeah.
He's got some crazy finishes.
We said this last time. I said it's like he's averaging one of those baskets a game. Like he just gets it done and he sees it. So, I mean, he's so fun. He's so fun to watch. So.
He is. Remember the preseason one where Tobias had that crazy pass and he had to catch it with his left hand?
Yeah.
And his touch around the rim, his touch period, but around the rim, he's got much improved touch. So shout out to him, man, for doing it all tonight.
Yep. Absolutely.
Mike says Deuce nailed JDB. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to JD for sure. 100%. Mike, appreciate you as always, man. All right. Anything else on Cade, boss?
No, nothing with Cade.
Okay. All right. Guys, let's go ahead and swing it over to Duncan Robinson. All right. So tonight, guys, Duncan Robinson had 9 points, 2 boards, 2 turnovers on 3 of 7 shooting, 3 of 6 from 3, 2 from the free throw line. Yikes. In 28 minutes. Yikes. Okay. I'll let you lead it up, boss. What were your thoughts tonight on Duncan Robinson?
He did fine. He only had 7 field goals attempted. I don't love that. I just feel like if you're out there, when we have the 2 big lineup, your role next to Cade is to score. That's Duncan's role right now. Mm-hmm. And, he made a couple clutch threes. He made one in the beginning. He made that clutch one at the end. Like, he's still a good shooter and we can rely on him. I know we've been spoiled with Bees who we know could put up 5-6 threes a game and make them, but I would like to see Duncan, we saw him being more aggressive the last few games, and I don't think he tried to get to the rim as much. I think he did okay on defense. He had a couple, did he mark a steal? No, they didn't mark a steal for him, but I know that he got in the way of some passes. He made an impact.
Man, you being nice. You being nice, man.
I know.
You being nice.
It's hard for me to be mean. It's hard for me. It's hard. But yeah.
No,
with Duncan, I've talked about if you're going to play him that long, he needs to produce more. And it was interesting towards the end when we did have double-digit leads. I know our bench wasn't great, but I would have liked to see Ron or Javonte or someone else in there for defense because we have this lead. You're not producing offense at this moment in time. Let's get another defender in there to keep the lead. So that's mostly where I'm at with Duncan. But glad, he came through when I'm glad he came through when we needed him to.
All right. So she's giving y'all the nice version.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be me. I'm just gonna be honest. Y'all know me. I'm blunt. So look, I don't think he played well tonight. And I say that because he knocked down shots. Okay, he knocked down. He 3 for 6 from 3. I get it, right? That's what you need to do. But first of all, 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
You a shooter. You can't go 0 for 2 from the line. And I'm not gonna say he does that a lot. I haven't watched him his whole career at Miami, but he's only been here for about a couple months, and to see that's kind of a little bit discouraging. Can't do that. Also, you mentioned the defense. You can't give up 28 points in 35 minutes to Steve Mikhailuk, bro.
Yeah, that's so true. I don't know why he wasn't on it,
you can't.
to be honest.
Like, and Steve was getting it every way he wanted. He was getting it underneath. He was underneath the hoop with just kind of bullying Duncan. It's like, how do you let Steve bully you, bro? Come on. Yeah, like we know, guys, he was a solid player here, but come on, man, you can't let him get a career high, against us when we're a defensive team. You can't do that.
Yeah. Right.
Like if he doesn't do that, this game is probably over way sooner. Right.
Oh yeah.
So yes, right. Organically, you can't. Come on, bro. Like you can't allow, and you can't. If you're gonna do that, you can't score 9 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's what my eyes told me. Like you gotta be more impactful, bro. The 3 for 6 from 3 is great, right? But what are you doing on the other end? If you're scoring 9, giving up 28, that's you're kind of a liability defensively, and that's what we can't be as a defensive team. I talked about adding Stewart to the starting lineup. You can't do that and then negate that with allowing a guy like Steve Mikhailuk, no disrespect, to get 28 points, 35 minutes. You just can't do it. Ethan says Duncan's poor play would have stood out more if the Pistons were yes, if they were losing. Yeah. Not a good game from him though, that's for sure. And I'm not trashing him. Y'all know me. Yeah. I'm not. I call it exactly how I see it. And tonight it just wasn't a good look for Duncan tonight. Yeah. Right? So that's just my take on it. Hopefully he'll be better next game, but that's what I saw.
I think I would be a little harsher on him if someone off our bench did better. We had a couple. He did. Okay. I was going to say Ron as my guy too. Ron, but I just feel like his poor play didn't stick out as much because we had a couple, multiple guys with poor play. Like he wasn't the only weak link. But I do agree with everything you're saying. Because
as a starter though, it's like, you know what I'm saying?
And missing the 2 free throws, that should be a sign that he was just really off.
That's fair.
I also don't think like he should have been on Hendricks. I don't know why he was on me after a while. I don't know if that was just how it ended up after screens and rotations, or if that was what JB just wanted to do. But you're right. Like we saw in the beginning that he kind of held Ausar to a high standard because when Ausar made some mistakes, he pulled him immediately. And
you told me that, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like JB just lets Duncan. I don't know. I don't know if Duncan he wanted Duncan to have the ball more, to have more shot opportunities, and he wasn't getting it based off of how the rotations were going, how the play was. But for me, I don't see why he's out there other than to help grow the lead. And again, 3 of 7 is not starter numbers. Right. So, and even just 7, like at least get to 10. And I don't know how many of those were. Oh, they're all 6 of them were threes. And I know he's a 3-point shooter, but we saw him in his highest scoring games get to the mid range, get to the paint, get to the basket. So I agree with you. Okay.
Yeah. Chuck, I'm not sure if you're trolling or not. You might be, maybe you're being serious. I don't know. But Ron knocked down his only 3 tonight.
Yeah.
So he didn't take a bunch, but when he's open, he's knocking them down. Like he is not the same shooter from last year. He is not. He's taken a huge jump from last year. It's night and day as far as him. Mighty Booch says Duncan needs to spend time with the dog pound, find his edge. Not sure if he has chemistry yet with this team. Yeah, you can see, and I'm wondering if the defense is affecting his offense. I don't know if he's used to expending a ton of energy defensively, but to get in the court and stay in the court, he's going to have to. And so if that's affecting his jump shot, then what does that mean for him starting?
Right.
Because we have other guys on this team who can play great defense who aren't great shooters. I mean, look no further than Ausar Thompson, right? So it's just like, if you can't give us that two-way ability, why are you starting? That's just me, right? So go ahead.
Well, and we mentioned it too, and we're going to see how the starting lineup evolves. But even Tobias in for Duncan, because Tobias has a reliable shot as well. He really, he's usually in our top like 3-4 scorers. Every now and then he has an off night, but he's out there to pace and he's out there to space. But I think, he can put up he can put up 9 points. He can put up more than that.
Yeah.
So, he can hit as many threes as Dunk did and get to the basket and get the mid range. So that would be, because I think right now until Ivey comes back, JB just wants some kind of offensive help in there. And yes, Ron's an option, but maybe doesn't feel quite confident enough yet.
Right.
But that's why we're missing Tobias. That's, like everyone's like, yeah, like Stu in the starting lineup is great. I can see that. But maybe Tobias too. So
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I just think at some point, if you're going to lean into your identity, you got to have players on the court 1 through 5 who fit that identity. And that's kind of where I'm at, because otherwise, what's the point? If you got, you patch a hole here, you get a little bit bigger in the front court, but you got another hole in the back court because you don't have a guy who's really a good two-way player. So it's like, if you're going to lean in, you got to lean in. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. What do you see? You got a look of confusion on your face. We'll get this too soon because, it's a mixed bag on that.
He's been starting and he's looking good. I get it. But I think that's just a wild thing to say.
For what reason? State your case. Your case.
Exactly. I would like to know why, because and we'll get to his box scores, and they weren't perfect tonight, but there were a couple of moments I'll talk about that his impact just being there changed the course. So
and we'll get to this too. Pistons Next says, but we know this is temporary, so it's not a problem. I've seen a lot of comments about Jaden Ivey when he gets back, and Duncan will probably be going to the bench. I think that's 100% accurate. But still, in the meantime, between time, we're talking about us moving up in the standings, right? We still got to get these wins. We still got to build a chemistry and still try to get these wins so we can make sure we get a first round playoff series, a top 4 seed, right? These are the important games. The reason we didn't get that last year is because we started off 0-4. So this is important. You want to experiment and figure it out, but you also want to try to stack wins against teams you're better than.
Yeah.
Right? And not having these guys hang around late in the games when they should have been put away. Go ahead.
And like, we're at the top of basically at the top of the East right now. But, and I've discussed, now we have the next 19 games, 16 of our, because it was the West team, 16 of our games are against East opponents who are all currently below us.
Right.
And I know it's early, but they're all very winnable games. It's possible that we, have a nice long win streak. We'll probably, get stopped by 1 or 2 of them. But like you said, this is, it's temporary. But I want us to utilize these games because then we go to the West the second half. It just gets a little tougher. Then we have to some time to adjust to having Ivey back. If somehow Bees comes back, we'll still have some adjustment period. So like you said, these are the games we need to be winning. So even though it's temporary, it still needs to work. Right.
Exactly. And that's kind of the whole point. You can't just say, all right, when he gets back, it's a shoo-in because these guys are still going to need time to adjust and get used to their new team. Like, think about Stu has been on this team. He's the longest tenured Piston. And it's still, you can see it's taking them time to adjust to him being in that starting 5, right? So it's going to take time for all these guys, regardless of who they are. If they haven't been playing with the other guys, it's going to take them time. So we can't rely on, when he gets back, we're going to be going humming like a well-oiled machine. Nah, you still got to try to get the wins when you can get them. So I agree with you there for sure. All right, let's keep it moving. We're going to leave Duncan alone for the rest of the night. Let's go to Ausar Thompson. Ausar Thompson, 18 points, guys, 7 boards, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Stuff in the stat sheet again. 2 turnovers. He shot 58% overall, which is good. 7 for 12. No 3-pointers. I'm fine with that. Free throw percentage is better tonight. 4 for 6 at 67%, which is a solid. In 31 minutes. So, boss, thoughts on Ausar Tasmanian Thompson tonight?
He looked great, and he had a defensive impact as well. I really like this stat line from him. And, those 2 missed free throws, what I liked is that he went and got the rebound after that. I think it deflected off of Ron, but he got it. And so if you're going to miss your free throws, at least, make up for it. And he did. I felt like there were some moments. Okay, so we're still using him as a ball handler, whether Cade's on the floor or not. And JB is still on the sideline saying, go, go.
Yeah.
I feel like I've mentioned the last few games, I feel like Ausar's confidence was apparent and it was there. With his ball handling confidence tonight, I felt like that was down. And he did make up for it in other ways. But that was my only really negative from him. And I do hope that he's okay with his leg. It did look like a cramp. Whenever and they reach for it, I immediately go to like Achilles, and that freaks me out. Yeah,
because we didn't see a roll of an ankle or anything like that. So,
but that's why I'm also just like, because Achilles, that just sneaks up on you.
Right.
So I got a little scared there. And maybe that scared him a little bit too, because I know he does not want to be injured again or sidelined.
Absolutely not.
No, he doesn't. So I love the stat line. He did great tonight. Kind of a quiet 18 points. I think I saw a lot of rebounding from him, a lot of good defense. So yeah, it made me happy.
Yeah. Second half was a lot better than the first half.
Yeah.
He looked,
though, so
it's probably a byproduct of that, right? That's a great point. You guys know I call him Tasmanian Thompson because he's just a wrecking ball, wreaking havoc all over the floor. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, right?
Yeah.
Tonight, it was a little bit of both. It was a very hot and cold game for me for Ausar early in this game because it was just so many plays. It was like, great play. And then what are you doing? I tweeted like, Ausar, what are you doing, bro, on some of those plays? So there was a stretch. I'm gonna give you guys a quick play-by-play. It was a 4-play stretch of what happened with Ausar in the fourth quarter to kind of just illustrate the up and down play. He scored the first bucket of the game, right? Baseline cut out of pick and roll. JD caught it, found him, right? In the baseline. Nice. He followed that up with a travel. Then he follows that up with a backcourt steal. Then he follows that up with a point blank miss at the rim, right? Yeah. And not too long after that, he had a nice block at the rim. So it's just so uneven. It's like up and down, up and down, up and down. And he makes so many big plays that are positive that it's hard to keep him off the floor. But it's like, if he could just cut down on those mistakes, just slow down a little bit. Because I think his speed is his blessing and his curse. Because he's got quick feet and quick hands. He's able to knock the ball away, get a backcourt steal, lay it up. But he's also sometimes just moving too quickly, trying to finish too quickly, trying to get the ball up court too quickly, and he gets out of control, right? But he has gotten better. I think overall he was a plus. I see his ceiling and his potential. It's like, bro, if you could just cut down on some of those mistakes, you could be so much better of a player. And I know he's still working his way back. And you see the potential, but that's what I have my eye on, is just trying to cut down on the uneven play, the hot and cold, the frustrating and then impressive plays, and just be steady. Yes. Just be steady. So that's all I got on him. But I thought overall he played pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. He had our highest of the plus minus at 22. And so I think, I think he also did a really good job on Keyonte George. I'm really liking the way he's defending right now on the perimeter. His arms are by his sides until they start to drive, and then he goes for the ball. I think that's fantastic perimeter defense, especially when it's not someone bigger. Like Keyonte, there's no reason to put your hands up until he makes a move. So I really did like his perimeter defense to really stifle some of the threes. Again, it was mostly Svi or Spy. How do you pronounce it?
Svi.
Svi. Okay, that's what I thought, but I second guessed myself. With Svi, and again, I think that someone else should have been defending him. But I think Ausar's stuff up. But yeah, again, with like you said, the ups and downs. I'm glad he makes up for his mistakes, but it is just just cut the mistakes. Yeah. And again, I'm going to give him the leniency that it's not like he was the only weak spot again on the team.
Right. Right.
And so I think just some of the rhythm was out of there. And, but yeah, I think he still has room to improve. It's still early. I feel like he's already better since day one. So now it's just continuing that.
I agree. And I want to clarify this here. Philip says you can't cut down his speed, let him run fast and adjust and learn, but end up keeping the same pace. So here's what I mean. I don't mean literally slow down. I mean the same thing we were saying about Jaden in his first and second year about the pacing, not always trying to go 100%, but knowing when to slow down, knowing when to pull the ball back out and not try to just barrel your way to the rim. Just the decision making is what I mean as far as the speed. Just understanding when to go and when to pull back. That's what he gets in trouble because he's always trying to go like this. The same way Jaden was always trying to go like this. And then he improved and his turnovers came down. So that's what I mean when I say learn down or focus on the speed, is understanding when to do it and when not to do it, right? Not literally slowing down, because that's literally makes no sense. Let's get to the super chat from Al Deloney. Says, I love Stu, but Tobias is JB's security blanket. Check the tape. We'll get to that, bro. For sure. I definitely have some comments on that for sure. So I appreciate the super chat, and we'll come back to that when we get to Stu. You got anything else on Ausar? Let me see. He says his brain needs to calm down. Yeah. Right. That's what I meant, Philip. Yes. Yeah. But the energy needs to be the same. 100%. Yeah. That's his superpower. He's in the 99th percentile as far as athletes in the NBA. So it's like, you can't take that away. It's just the when you do it that we got to kind of focus on. So we'll leave it there on Ausar. Overall, good game from him. Anything else on Ausar?
Nope. I'm excited to see him Friday. I think he's just gonna, again, like with his just with that injury with stuff, I think he's aware of the mistakes he made. You can see on Ausar's face. He's aware, so I think he'll clean it up and he'll be good. Exactly.
Ryan says it was similar to Ivey. Yes. Going too fast in his rookie year. 100%. Yeah. That's exactly it. So yeah, we're on the same page here, guys, for sure. All right. Let's go ahead and go to Isaiah Stewart. Perfect timing. All right. So guys, tonight, Isaiah Stewart had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 blocks, 1 turnover on 45% overall, 2 for 6 from 3, no free throws in 31 minutes. So I'll let you lead it off, boss. What did you see from Dog Pound Senior Isaiah Stewart tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was great to see him out there. Like I said, his big game was last game with the 2 big. JD's was tonight, but it couldn't have been possible without Stu. His stat line might not reflect it, but he was just huge defensively. Yeah. There was one play where 2 minutes left in the second, Keontae George was driving to the basket, and you see Stu take off. You see Stu running to the rim to block it, and Keontae immediately passes it out to the perimeter, and they miss that 3, and we get the ball. Keontae would have laid that up if Stu didn't make a drive. Keontae was being guarded. He was being guarded. I don't know. I forget by who, but he was being guarded. But he passed up the layup because Stu was on his way.
Right.
So it's those kind of plays that it really just impacts that and, keeps the guys out of the paint. And, 3 blocks is nothing to scoff at all.
Come on, man.
And 2 for 6 threes. I don't mind it. I don't mind the 6 threes, especially when we're down a shooter, when we need the offense. So I didn't hate it. He made them when they mattered. And then, JD just got the offense tonight, but Stu was there and played awesome defense on Markkanen. It's why Markkanen was struggling in the first half for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So let's lead it off here with what JB Bickerstaff said pregame. He said he's the best rim protector in the league. His timing, his anticipation, always beating guys to the spot. And he also talked about his fearlessness and how he's not afraid to get posted. He's not afraid. He's going to challenge you every single time. And that's why, like you mentioned, even though there was a guy on Keontae George, he felt he could score on him. But when he saw Stu there, he knew the odds went way down on that. And so for me, by the way, I want to shout out Amari Sankofa, who gave us that quote. After last game, I stated that the Pistons should start Stu with JD, right? And I highlighted the reasons why I felt that way. But for context, for anybody who missed it, we are going to address that again. Well, let's not do it tonight. We'll come back to it later. I don't want to do that tonight. But I do want to address something that Coach Bickerstaff said regarding that.
Physicality, size, strength, versatility. We don't mind putting those guys on anybody on the floor. We're confident that if they switch on any matchup, they can have success. There is a ferociousness to them both that kind of helps us set a tone of how we're going to play. Their ability to rebound both sides of the ball. I think that's one of the challenges that we're pushing is we've got to be a better defensive rebounding team. So all those guys have to take responsibility. Tonight's going to be stressed because the Jazz are a good offensive rebounding team. But I think that's the thing that they bring is that presence, the tenaciousness to start the game.
Yeah, so you heard words like ferocity, tenacity. Those are all defensive traits that the Pistons embody, right? That is what exactly Isaiah Stewart is. And so, I don't know, man. I don't really understand how you can't at this point see how he needs to be in the starting lineup. The main pushback that I heard was that Paul Reed wasn't good enough to be the third big if the Pistons have any foul trouble or injuries or things like that. And I don't know, man. I feel like Paul Reed's good enough to be a third big personally, but even if you don't think he is, you still got Tolu Smith, right? But even if you don't think that's enough, I still think the answer is not putting Tobias back in the starting 5. I think you leave Stewart the 4 and make a move for another big at the backup 4 or 5, right? That's what I think you should do because you see the impact that Isaiah Stewart has in that starting lineup. It's much more ethical to do it that way. Trade for a backup big, leave Stu where he's at instead of putting Tobias back at the 4 and having Stu be the backup 5. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Based on the tone you're trying to set defensively and the team and identity you're trying to set.
Yeah.
That's just me. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I completely agree. And, Paul Reed, he did get minutes tonight. They were he wasn't the best. Again, he's had a couple iffy games, but he started off strong. I still have faith in Paul Reed. He's one of my guys. And he was out there for basically to give them rest. So that's that, people's argument towards that are valid. But we also have like Tolu, who I would love to see out there. I would love to see him because he's just a dog and he can move quickly and he can defend. So that's a possibility. Maybe we do trade for a big, who knows? That was another reason why if Tobias was healthy, he could come in because he's also, is he a rim defender? No, but he stops people from getting to the rim. He's a good defender, I think, for JB standards. He's a good defender. So, I really like what I saw. I didn't get to see the game live. And then when I watched it, I knew they won. So I took a little bit of the excitement out of it, but not this game, but the one against the Grizzlies.
The Grizz, yeah.
But what I saw, I really liked the two big lineup tonight, and I'm really happy that it's working out because it's what we need. And there's going to be a night where they both just pop off.
Yep.
Like, both go crazy. And that's coming. And honestly, if Stu was hitting those threes, that would have been tonight too.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
But I like where we're at with that. And so I'm not worried about Tobias being out of the starting five right now. And that's exactly what we need is like when a guy goes down to have someone, come in and keep it down. I think Tobias still would have been beneficial tonight, but yeah, I'm excited about the Stu and Duren. And I really like Stu and Duren and Ron. I love when the whole dog pounds out there. That's a lot of fun. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I'll talk about it now because, we haven't gotten JD yet, but they had the dog pound play where Stu blocked it. Ron brought it up the court, lobbed it to JD for the dunk. Yep. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was
that's
awesome.
That's a Piston. That's a dog pound play. 100%. 100%. Yeah. I love seeing that kind of stuff. That's who we are. Yep. Ethan says, and I saw you put this up earlier. If Rudy Gobert, who can't switch on to guards like Stu, can win DPOY, there's no reason Stu can't. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, you could argue that Stu is just as good, if not better, of a rim protector than Rudy Gobert.
Oh yeah. Rudy Gobert should have none.
Yeah, maybe 4? One. That's insane.
Yeah.
And if he wasn't 7'3", 7'4", I mean, a lot of that just comes with his sheer size. That's why a guy like Stu, who's 6'8", and doing this is incredible. Go ahead.
I see him a lot in Denver because he's in the division, the Bulls, and that man is afraid of Jokic. He doesn't. Gobert. No, I'm not going to get into it, but I agree completely. Like, Stu deserves more recognition for his defense. And I hope the NBA really starts to push that because right now, he's still kind of the villain, the hothead. And yeah, he's a hothead. We like that about him. But maybe people keep trying him at the rim because no one knows, which is silly at this point. So it's not 100%. A fluke. It's not a fluke. He's the best rim defender. He's, lead. I don't think he leads in blocks. I think that's still Wemby, but he's up there with blocks. He's helping the team lead the NBA in block totals. Yeah, so I agree completely. And with a starter, he's going to hit the minutes for the defensive team of the year. So
exactly, that's the only reason he didn't make all defense last year. Yeah. Like we mentioned, he just didn't have enough minutes. The fact that he's even in the conversation with a guy like Wemby, who's nearly a foot taller than him, and they play the same position, is insane.
I know
that's just crazy.
Yeah,
but let's stay on Stu for a while because I got a lot more to say about him. Yeah. His help side defense. Yeah. That's a big reason too why I want him to play with JD. Because so often in the past, when you see JD committing for a block, right, when there's penetration in the perimeter, unless it's Ausar sliding over at the end and jumping out of the gym, there's not really much help side D there. There isn't really anybody boxing out. We talked about that a few games back. And tonight that was not the case. Multiple times when you would see JD try to contest, who was coming right over to box out or to swat it away when they were trying to help out or get the offensive rebound. You didn't see the offensive putback tonight. No. You saw Stu boxing him out or swatting the putback away. Yes. Right? And guess what that leads to? Transition opportunities, which is exactly what the Pistons do. So Stu is a great help side defender too. He's good at helping the helper. Yes. He's smart. He's got great instincts. And once again, he helps set the tone out the gate. And we talked about Lauri Markkanen, right? Amazing defense on him. So Lauri this year is averaging 31. Tonight he had 25, but he shot 30%. Yeah. That's Isaiah Stewart. He shot 8 for 22. What is it? 8 for 22 overall. 3 for 12 from 3.
a lot of that came in the fourth when Stu was on the bench and didn't get to come in because there was no stoppage of play. And he's not going to call a timeout when we're holding it down. So that's when he really popped off. And yeah, and I'll just throw this out there now because I mentioned to you, Stu, you know, he's kind of, I don't think he's not nearly as, he doesn't have the Draymond Green reputation yet, but one thing that you worry about Green is getting kicked out or ejected. And I had that sense of worry with Stu tonight just because him and Nurkic have gone at it before. Nurk is kind of a dirty player. It's why he had 2 offensive fouls, and he's sneaky dirty. He gets under your skin. Yeah. And they did have that one where they were talking, and I like that Stu just mocked him instead of throwing hands.
Right. You mentioned that.
It shows that he's taking his role in he understood in that moment that they need him. So he can't just be. And I'm not saying that that's his default, but I know that him and Nurkic aren't besties. So I was a little worried that something would happen where he would get teed up or ejected or get into it with him. And he was pretty close, but he walked away and he just accepted it. And that to me is just also huge because I remember, there were games where Steph Curry was crying because Draymond Green would just get ejected right away. And he's like, where's my guy? And I don't think we pulled this one out tonight with Stu. It was that close.
Without Stu?
Yeah, I think if we lost Stu, we would not have pulled this out because of his defense. And like you said, he had tap outs, some things that don't record his rebounds. He was under there to help, make sure that if someone else didn't get it, he did. He got in the way. Without him on Markkanen, it would have been tricky. I think Markkanen was going earlier. So his stat line isn't as pretty as his last game, but we know the impact that he had.
That's what it's all about. It's all about impact. I wanted to get to this because this kind of leads me to my next point about Stu. Ethan says, my pushback against Stu as a starter over Tobias is that Tobias can be a playmaker with the ball in his hands at a much higher level. I think that is a very valid point. Yeah. But here's what I will say about this. We know with Stu, you get more defense. And we know with Stu, you lose a little bit of offensive creation that Tobias provided, right? But here's the thing. If you're going to go with Stu with the 4, like I think they should, you have to have another creator offensively. But guess who's coming back in a few weeks? We just talked about how Duncan Robinson is not the answer long-term at the 2. We know that. Having Jaden Ivey on the court makes it viable to go with Stu with the 4. Because we know Stu isn't a creator. He can score in the paint, right? When you get him the ball, he can score. But you need more offensive creation if you're going to go with Stu instead of Tobias. And that's what Jaden Ivey is going to provide. So in my mind, let him go now. Let him get the reps with these guys now. So that way, when J.I. comes back, it's an easier transition. Yeah. Because I think the point is valid.
I think that comment supports your thoughts about Tobias coming off as the 6th guy to help come in and control the game when the guys need rest or to get control again. I think that is a valid point. It's also why I wouldn't mind seeing him in for Duncan if that's needed to, just to get us to where we need Jaden, but to get Jaden back. But yeah, I can also see him coming off and, being our main guy for the 2nd unit. So,
yep, exactly. Yeah. So I think that's the answer. I think you don't put Tobias back in because you have Jaden coming back, who's going to be able to give you that offensive creation. And you still have Stu to help you set that tone defensively. I think that's the answer. So I do think with Stu starting, like I mentioned, they do need more offensive creation. I would even mind having a guy like Ron in there more often because, Ron's not an offensive hub, but he can handle the ball. He can shoot the ball from long range. He can give you a little bit of creation off the dribble in the lesser capacity of a J.I. can, right? So even guys like him, I think, can help solve that problem. But once again, long term, I'm definitely starting Stu because he gives you the defense. And when you get Jaden back, you have the offensive creation there. And then you still have the offensive punch off the bench with Tobias Harris. It's just a better all-around fit for the construction of this team. And that's why I would kind of go with him there. So I don't think putting Tobias back in the starting lineup, I don't think that's the answer. You got to set that tone with Stu. You have to do that. You see the impact that has. And, I think that's the best way to go. But either way, I think it's the perfect time for the Pistons to experiment with these guys, with these lineups. It's a lot of opportunity, a lot of, versatility. That's a good problem to have. So I do like that they are experimenting now and seeing what looks the best. Yeah. That's all I got on Stu. Anything else on Stu?
Nope. Just love him.
Yeah, we could go all night, right? Right.
Exactly.
But
we could talk about everything good he does, and he doesn't. And he had 1 personal foul tonight. I'll say that.
1 foul.
31 minutes and 1 foul as our rim protector, as our defender on Lauri Markkanen. So
right.
And
Right.
yeah, and that foul was on Nurkic. That was the one where they got in trouble. So he did it,
okay.
he did it. He was great. So.
Yeah, for sure, man. Shout out Stu, man. All right, guys, let's go to JD, Jalen Duren, man. Tonight he had 22 points, 15. No, I'm tripping. My bad. 22 points, 22 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, only 1 turnover on 10 of 15 shooting, good for 67% overall. 2 of 4 from the free throw line. The only black mark, you could see he was annoyed with himself when he missed him. In 35 minutes. So take off.
We got a 2020 game this early from JD.
You called it. You called those.
2020 game. I knew that he was going to have multiple this year. I'm so happy. It's, within the first 10 games, game 8. Very proud of him. He stepped up where needed. He was under the basket, but he was getting the rebounds and he made the decision to go back up with it. And, he either made the basket, got fouled, or he kicked it back out. So I think he made smart decisions. He was where he needed to be. He did great off the screen and rolls. He did everything right tonight. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled at it. 2 personal fouls for him as well. Like, that's huge. Between our 2 big guys starting, only 3 personal fouls is incredible.
Yeah.
And he was a big reason why, like, we heard JB mention it, and I knew about it before the game as well, that the Jazz are great rebounders. They're second in the league at offensive rebounding, and they're top 10 at defensive. And we out-rebounded them tonight on both ends. So that's just big. And, a lot of that's more than how many we had 52 rebounds total, and 22 of them were JD. So
that's insane.
Yeah.
That's about 40% of the boards total.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Awesome.
That is crazy, man. Insane. Yeah. So 12 straight points for the Pistons in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Let's just start there.
Awesome.
And he did it in different ways. It wasn't just the lob play. The lob was there, but he's and then I'm noticing the little things with JD, man. He's just becoming a higher IQ player. At least he's just focusing more on the IQ. The way he's just setting screens, turning into a statue when he gets there. Doesn't move until Cade makes his, like, he's just playing much smarter. Even the way he's defending at the rim, going straight up, not trying to always get the block, but just making sure that he's not allowing them to score or make the shot difficult. Yep. Just the small things that he's doing, he's committing to the defensive end to be that guy defensively as an anchor. And I think that's really, really good to see. He was great. He had a nice lefty finish. He was all over the boards, like you mentioned, cleaning the glass up, offensive and defensive. And he even went to a little mini fadeaway.
Yeah.
It was pretty. It was pretty. A few times. Yeah, it looked pure. So even though he can do that, I think he's going to be more focused on what he's doing and show flashes of these things and work on his game in the offseason to continue to get better, to showcase that in the future. But you see it's there. Yeah. You see his ceiling is ridiculous. Go ahead.
Yeah, and he had another grab out of the air block too on Keontae at the end. It's like the third of the season where he just grabs it away from these guys, and that's just phenomenal defense. He did keep his arms up straight. Keontae was all over the place, so I'm glad that he didn't get called for a foul there because it wasn't one. And just like Stu has been the hype man, Ron's been the hype man, Cade of course has been the hype man. Like Duren's 12-point run and how he played the entire game just really helps keep the momentum up.
Yep.
So just fantastic job from him. And we talked about his slow start last year and have all of his games been perfect? No, but like he's doing so much better. And like he's not, getting into foul trouble early. He's doing what he needs to do plus these fadeaways. He's gaining confidence. And that fadeaway came in his 12 point streak. Like he was feeling himself. Yeah. And so just to have that confidence boost is huge. And he should be very proud of himself. I'm curious if anyone out there has seen any of the post game stuff, if him or Cade got the belt, because I could see it going to either. Great question.
We'll see. Yeah, that's a tough one because Cade closed.
Right.
But JD was just there throughout.
22, yeah.
That's tough.
He had the whole game. First half and second half.
They may share it, maybe like half and half. Right? We'll see. A few comments we want to get to here. Organic says deuces across the board downtown for Duren. Yeah, 2-2 and 2-2. Yeah. I love it. Detroit Drew says all-star that man. Devon says no one saw JD breaking out like this season. I just hope he proves haters wrong and becomes a well, some of us did. Yeah. Some of us did. I called JD being an all-star. beginning of the year, right? I said he's going to break out if he plays smart, if he just continues to be available. Because that's been the biggest knock on him is can he be available and can he give the effort consistently on the defensive end? Yeah. And now we're seeing, just like with Cade, can he close? Can he handle? Check, check. Turnovers down, check, check. Now we're seeing JD taking those jumps. Yep. Can he stay on the floor? Check. Can he be consistent? Check. Can he D without fouling? Like these guys are all growing incrementally. That's why Trajan said, let's just not make any trades and let's focus on the internal growth. Yep. And even though we have issues right now with our bench a little bit, we still see that these guys can overcome that because they've gotten better. Yep. The young guys, the core guys. So definitely want to shout JD out, man. And also, this is the why when it comes to even more so now that I think he'll be an all-star this year is because if he keeps it up, right, brings the energy and stays disciplined, he's going to average a hefty double-double. And honestly, having Stu alongside him in that starting lineup, it will enable him to be more available and avoid the foul trouble. It's a lot easier for him to stay out of foul trouble when you got Stu there as opposed to Tobias there, who tries as hard as he can. He's just not the defensive presence.
So true.
So it's like it affects JD too. If you can have him on the court longer and not sitting down with 10 minutes in the first quarter because he's got 2 fouls, because he's trying to hold off Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, or Miles Turner and Giannis, or Mitchell Robinson and Cat. When you got another dog there with you, it makes it easier for you to foul or to defend without fouling. And you're not as expended and tired defensively. It just helps everything. It helps other players having Stu in that starting lineup. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So that's the domino effect of Stu being there is not just him and Tobias. Yeah. You're seeing with other players how he can be impacted negatively or positively as well. And since we're a defensive team, it just makes sense to have him in that role. So gotta shout out Stu because he's so impactful to this team, man. So JD was amazing though. JD was amazing tonight.
I want to address this comment. Zion Caesar says, my biggest fear with JD is that he might be a contract year merchant. I don't think he is. I think that he was given I understand maybe some concern, but I don't see him that way. I think he was, they just want to see how this team as a young group can grow together. And they were aware of JD's slow start last season. So I think it's just Trajan being not cautious, but just good, financially smart at this point. There's still obviously Ivey and Duren are both players I want to see grow with this team, and them not getting the extension doesn't mean that they're not. It just means like, all right, like let's see what you can do at this young age because we know you can do better, and JD is doing better already. So I don't think it's a contract year thing. I think it's just JD. He recognized what he did wrong last year. He's fixing it. The first 2 games, foul trouble, fixing it. He's learning as he goes. And he's only, again, 21. And he just has to be reminded of some things, but I think he's really holding it down. And this is the kind of player he is. 2020 nights are going to be more common for him.
Yep. So, 100%. I totally agree. I think the offensive rebounds with a guy like Stu available, the tap outs, keeping the ball alive, those are rebounds. Tap, offense rebound, miss shot, like that's, you can really eat on the glass having another guy there with you. Zion says, or not Zion, because you just mentioned that one, but I wanted to cite this here when it comes to, we're gonna get to this again. He says, I need you to keep it a beanie Siegel, keep it a buck with Caris tonight, like you did with Duncan. I got you, bro. I got you. We're gonna get to him too, for sure. But yeah, I definitely just think that it's important to keep that in mind, man. Like it's a domino effect with these guys. And if you guys watched the pregame, Natalie Kerwin asked JD about Stu starting, and he was raving over it. He was raving over Stu. Like, yeah, man, when we play together, it's the dog pound. Like he said, he doesn't think there is a more imposing front court that has the athleticism and skill more so than those two. And I agree. As far as because they're both bruisers, but you got Stu or JD, who's just a freak athlete, and you've got Stu, who's not a freak athlete, but he's such a smart player. Yes. So you could just hear JD. You could hear it in his voice. He was kind of going on and on and on too. Like it was a very direct question, but he was just kind of going on and kind of just gushing about him. So you can see that once again, you can see JD wants to have another guy there with him that is going to bang. That's going to, so he doesn't have to do so much by himself, so to speak, in that painted area, which he can do. We've seen him out muscle Jared Allen and Evan Mobley together, both of them, but nobody wants to do that every night. So he just makes more sense to have a guy like that with you. And I think I think it's going to come a time, maybe not tomorrow, but I think it's going to come a time where that is a starting front court for this team.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree. And it's exciting seeing them excited because that's part of our culture is the bad boys, the dog pound, the defense, the grit, and they both have it. So that's just exciting to see that they're thrilled about it and they're looking forward to playing together. Yeah. And so, and you can see JD was just really loving what he was doing out there. He looked very confident. So I'm just super, super impressed by him.
I do want to come back to Zion now because I know you already mentioned it and commented on it, but it wasn't like, so JD started off bad last year. We know that. Like mentally, the discipline wasn't there, the energy wasn't there, and he called himself out. Yeah. He said, I was playing soft. He said that. It wasn't like he really reverted back to that at any point in the season. Once he got over that hump, he pretty much maintained it. And he had a slow start the first 2 or 3 games of this year, but he seems to have erased that already. So I don't even think it's because it's a contract year, because he showed second half of last year that he was turning into a different player. If it was like that all last year from the first 10 games through the whole season, and then you see him like this year, then I'm like, okay, what's going on, bro? Like that's too much of a switch for you. You know what I mean? In conjunction with the contract year. Now I'm like, what's going on? Now I'm kind of side-eyeing. But the fact that he was doing it last year, well before we even got to this year, tells me that it's more so about him wanting to become a better player, period. I'm sure that's part of it, but I don't think it's the only reason. Right? And I don't think it's a situation where he gets paid and now we're seeing JD from last year, first 10 games again. I don't think it's that kind of situation. Yeah. And, I understand the concern, though. Go ahead. And there was no other extensions given. Trajan hasn't promised anyone anything. Right.
So exactly. Just even the guys that we did sign in the offseason have like a 1-year guarantee. Like he's not promising anything. So and I like it. I like the concept of go out there and prove it. Right. When we know JD has it, they know JD has it. They said go get it.
Check this out. Sarah just thought of Jokic and Aaron Gordon when Deuce said JD's quote, right?
They do love each other and they do work very, very well together. But it's hard to compare those guys because all 4 players are completely different from each other.
How you feel about this? It'll never happen, but how do you feel about this?
Oh my God.
Remember what I said? We were talking about this a couple weeks ago. He had a 50-point game.
So the Nuggets, Aaron Gordon had a better second half to the season last year, and Nuggets fans were like, we were like, okay, either MPJ or Aaron Gordon's leaving. It's hard to believe now, but that's what we all thought. Crazy. One of leaving. And I thought to myself, MPJ better not come near Detroit. Right. But no way. I will take Gordon in a heartbeat. Heartbeat. But it all worked out because Gordon's doing great. He's Jokic's best friend, one of the only guys Jokic has brought to Serbia. I think he's only brought Bruce Brown and Aaron Gordon with him. But and then MPJ's off to the Nets. We'll see him Friday. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, Aaron Gordon on our team would do wonders, but him and Jokic truly have a connection. So
for sure. Yeah. Truth Over Emotion says that game versus Cleveland, though, what we got to do to beat them and especially handle Mobley in the 7. That's kind of my whole point. Truth Over Emotion. Yeah. It's like Stu wasn't starting there. Yeah. So JD was having to battle against Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. That's kind of the point. That's kind of the point. I want to see how they look mano a mano when you fight fire with fire. That's what I want to see. Go ahead.
We did that was the first time we saw the double big lineup.
Did we see them together? Okay.
Yes,
okay.
That was the first time. But it's funny because you called them the Bruisers and George Blaha called them the Bruisers in the beginning of the game. Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, other 2 big teams you wouldn't necessarily call the Bruisers. Like Jared Allen and Evan Mobley are very good players in their own respects, but they're not bruisers. So that's kind of where I'm at there.
I'll say this too.
For the Cavs, I'm just going to say 2 big lineup. And for the Cavs, though, it's just offense. We just got to match their offense because I think we do pretty well in the defensively, but we need to match their offensive output if we do see them in the playoffs.
And the thing too, they've been together for a few years.
Yes.
They played together.
Yep.
So I just think once again, that's why you got to do it now.
Yep. And
you got to do it now.
Is a JB defense. JB built defense, and then they finessed their offense with Atkinson, but a lot of it was built by JB. A lot of those guys were JB's guys. So
So honestly, Truth Over Emotions, I think they need to keep Stu in the lineup, and they got to get healthy because we also didn't have Jaden Ivey. Yeah, we were also down players. So If we have a lineup of Cade, Jaden, Ausar, and Stu and JD, if they can play, when JI comes back the rest of the year,
yeah,
I'm okay. I'm confident going into a series with the Cleveland Cavaliers that we can beat them.
Absolutely. I agree.
I am. I think that's the difference. Torch Lord says Ben Wallace was really good, but I think he got even better when Rasheed joined. Yes.
Yeah.
The defense went from good to unbelievable. Yes, we had Mehmet Okur.
Yeah.
Mehmet Okur was a good player,
Mm-hmm.
but he wasn't a dog defensively like that. He was a great scorer. He was an all-star with the Utah Jazz. I'm not even taking anything away from him.
Yeah.
But it was no question when Rasheed got here who was going to start at that spot. Because Rasheed Wallace was a much better defender. He was just tougher mentally and physically. So to your point, Torch Lord, having two guys in there who have the same mentality and can also match that with the physical gifts and the strength and be bruisers, like Boss is saying, it's just going to make the whole defense better, and it's going to make those guys better individually, just playing alongside each other.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. I think Torch Lord, that is a great point, 100%. And I was sad he had to leave too. I would have liked to keep Mehmet as a backup big, but we could only afford to pay Rasheed or Okur. And since we had just won a ring in 13, 14 years, as soon as we got Rasheed, we could not pay him.
Yeah.
So,
right?
yeah,
it
was one of those situations.
He thrived. And that's all you can ask when you give up a player, that they do thrive in a way,
And no slander. This isn't any memorable. I loved him as a player on this team, but it's no coincidence that as soon as we got a guy like Sheed, that's because think about it. Since you mentioned it, we're going to talk about it real quick. Back down memory lane. You guys remember 2003, right? The year before we won. We played the Nets in the conference finals. Played them in 04 in the semifinals, but 03 conference finals. We didn't win a game in that series. If you remember, Okur missed a shot at the buzzer in game one. He just couldn't put it in. He was so mad because he fell to the ground. He was so upset. I'm not blaming the series on him at all.
Yeah.
But we just didn't have enough toughness against guys like Kenyon Martin, for example, right? Who's a dog in that painted area. Like we had Ben, but we needed a little bit more to sustain that. So once we got Sheed, it still took us 7 games the following year to beat them.
Yeah.
But we beat them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we beat the Nets that following year if Okur is still the starter as opposed to having the depth of having him as the backup.
Yeah.
I don't know if we beat the Indiana Pacers in 2004 when Tayshaun blocked that shot on Reggie Miller if Mehmet Okur is starting at the 4. You see what I'm saying? That's the only thing I'm saying is that when you have two guys who have the same mentality, it just makes it easier on the other guy. That's all I was saying. So I loved Okur, but it's the reason that when we got Sheed, we were able to win a championship. It's just, it is what it is.
And while we're on the 03-04 years, I want to bring up a stat that they brought up at the beginning of the game on screen.
Okay.
That we have 116 stocks, steals and blocks this season. And that's the second of all time, for the Pistons, second to our 94-95 team. And then it was also the 02-03 team, I believe. It might be 01-02. But then the last one on the list was the 03-04 championship team with through 7 games had 106 stocks, maybe 102.
Okay.
Over 100. And we're at 116 right now. So it's just it just totally goes into our culture of defense that we just have forever. So I just thought that was a really cool stat. I always love to talk about the 03-04 team because that's my team, So
my graduation year is 04. So like that's prime time for me for sure.
Love
Truth
it.
over. Go ahead, finish.
I was just saying that's the Pistons I fell in love with. So whenever I see a stat and it brings me back to them and how they played, love to see it.
Love to get into it.
In a game, and just especially in an era where defense was, I don't know, offense wasn't as productive. There weren't as many whistles, it wasn't as high scoring. So to know that we're keeping our defense at that level is cool. Right,
exactly. That's very true. I told y'all, Boss be all over the stats, y'all. Told y'all. She's she got it all down. Listen, Truth Over Motion says Memo is like Lauri Markkanen today. A lot of similarities there. Right. So wouldn't you love to have a guy like him on your bench? Yeah. It's not going to happen today, but that's essentially what we got when we brought in Rasheed and had Memo go to the bench.
Yeah.
So it's like, give me that all day long. 100%. So we'll leave that there. Y'all know how I feel about Memo. We ain't got to go there, but y'all know how I feel. Just making a point as far as having those two bigs that are really, really good together, that have the same mentality and all that. All right. He called me out. Nah, Zion. 04, bro. 04, man. 22 years ago this year. It's crazy to think about. I'm getting old. Oh, man. Okay. Organic is a little older. He says, "Oh, 3 stand up." Hey, you old, man. You old, bro. You older than me. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get to some bench guys. And then we will call it a night. So let's go ahead and start with B-ball Paul Reed tonight. He only played 7 minutes.
Yeah.
He had 2 points and 1 turnover on 1 for 2 shooting, and that was pretty much it. He really didn't get a chance to get warm. But what were your thoughts you saw from Paul Reed tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I know he can do better. But he, like you said, didn't really have a chance to get warm. He was basically a filler while we rested Duren and Stu because we knew that the Jazz weren't going to go away. So we needed them at the end, for sure. So not worried about him. I know that he'll return to his form that we know him as. He had a nice reverse layup.
He did. That was nice.
And he cleaned up, and you could tell he's frustrated. He's an emotional guy, and I just love to see. He's always trying. He's always giving effort.
Mm-hmm.
The effort tonight just led to some, the deflection off of his foot for trying to get the ball, and that was a Jazz possession. He had he had 3 fouls in 7 minutes, which is He's giving effort. He's not out there just bumming around. He is trying. He gets frustrated. He's going to be an up and down guy. He's our 3rd string big. It is what it is.
And his minutes haven't been consistent.
Exactly.
That's part of it too. It's hard to catch a rhythm when you're playing 7 minutes a game and you're trying to make an impact, and sometimes you overdo it a little bit. You try to make an impact and you end up hurting the team sometimes, or you just can't get a flow. Yeah. It's hard to get a flow when you've been sitting the whole game. Yeah. So I'm not going to hold that against him. I do think with consistent role and consistent minutes that he can be the 3rd big on his team. I 100% feel that way. But yeah, I think I'm not mad at him tonight. He didn't do anything wrong. He just didn't get enough opportunity. Yeah. If he had 28 minutes or 25 minutes or something like that, 20 minutes, and he didn't look good the whole 20 minutes, that's a little bit different. But 7 minutes, come on.
He is someone that, he does, like he's talked about it, he does try to come off the bench ready. But I feel like when you have 3-4 games in a row where you actually really are producing and doing great, and then you sit for 3,
right?
It's tough. But I'm not worried about him, especially because it wasn't like he came in and everything fell apart.
Right,
that wasn't the case. So he did his
100%.
job.
100%. Real quick, Albina says, "Hey, Sarah and Deuce, is JB overusing Cade too many minutes?" I would have liked to see more Danis Jenkins, guys.
Yeah,
I wanted to see Danis tonight. We talked about him, and he's not going to have a crazy stat line, but he can come in and settle things down. And that is what we needed in that first half. Yeah. They tried Caris. We're going to get to Caris. Actually, you know what? Let's go into Caris now. But I would have liked to see a little bit more Danis Jenkins in this game, because every time he's coming to the game this year, he's been able to settle down and impact in a positive way, whether setting guys up, knocking down the open 3 ball, whatever. So I would have liked to see him free Danis, coach. Free him.
Yes. And I'm going to say to Albina, too, we haven't, until Ivey comes back, we secure more offense that's not Cade, will he get the minutes? So he's in there, and Cade's in there because he wants to be. He's not going to he doesn't want to sit on the bench and let the team fall. He wants to go get the job done, which is what he did in the 4th. So if other guys were stepping up offensively, he probably would have been more around the 32-minute mark, I think. So.
Yeah, and see, sometimes though, I understand you want to play, but sometimes you got to be protected from yourself. It's a long season, bro. Yeah. It's a long season. So sometimes you need to just sit down and get the rest you need so you can be fresh for the rest of the season. And because we're trying to make deep playoff runs too. It's not just about the regular season. Okay, we finished 4th in the East. Okay, cool. Yeah. Then what? Are we healthy? Are we in a rhythm going into the playoffs? Are our guys fresh? Are we having any injury? What's going on? So sometimes I think you got to protect these guys from themselves. And I think Danis Jenkins should have been part of that plan just to get him some minutes, because he's not going to really hurt you. Mm-hmm. He's going to either keep the lead or expand it. It's not going to be where he comes in and 2 minutes into the game, it's another timeout, and he's got to go sit down because he's just hurt. No, that's not Danis Jenkins. He's ready. Yeah. He's ready to help this, and he's shown it.
Yep.
He's shown it. So that's what I would have done.
That's and I've told you, I don't coach like JB, but I would in some of those minutes when we needed something, I would have experimented a little bit. Put him in for 3 minutes, see what he does. Because even if Danis, I know he can provide offensively and he should get the chance to, but he also just the way that he, handles the ball, keeps it nice. I do really, really like him. And I don't know why JB's so hesitant right now to play the deep bench. I feel like they all should be getting minutes, but also we're not closing out games early enough for that as well. Yeah. And I agree. I just want to answer this question real quick. By Clifton. Do we really expect a healthy season from Ivey? Clifton, a few weeks ago, this guy Eric came on. He had more info about the injury that Ivey had, and he explained that 1 in 5 guys that break their leg, like Ivey did, get that knee injury. And here's the difference, that they caught it early, and that's why they took care of it early.
Right.
So the reason that they could have pushed it, but even, this was more of a preventative for the future. So yeah, it's a bummer right now, but it really, catching it early, getting it treated early is going to help him return to his form. So I am expecting a healthy season from him, but I implore you to go watch that video because he gave a lot of good info about the injury and why this was necessary when it was. Great.
It was a great breakdown for sure from a professional. And just so you guys know, like this what's going on now is not like, is this related to what happened when he got hurt? Like this is him overcompensating and coming back too early.
Yeah.
The inflammation. He had a procedure done in about 15 minutes to get that taken care of.
Yep.
Now we just got to be careful. And he was just on the bike today, ramping up.
I want to, and he was the most energized off the bench I've seen him yet.
Yeah,
he's excited. I feel like that's good news. I think his return is coming. I'm not saying it's gonna be right at the 4-week mark when they said they reevaluate, but I think it's gonna be soon. And he's pumped. He's ready because the first few games, he was looking frustrated. All this, like now he's up.
We talked about that.
Excited. So I was excited.
Remember what I was telling you?
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, remember I was saying, like, he was looking like that because he was just frustrated. Like, man, he's looking at the court and he's looking at the game, analyzing and saying, man, if I was out there, man, this wouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
That's what that is. So to your point, I can verify that he is on track. He's doing well. They're ready for this to be over so he can get in the court and do his thing.
Yeah. For
sure. So I expect him to be, come playoff time, I expect us to see a very close version, if not a better version of Jaden Ivey that we have seen the beginning of last year and in preseason this year. He's going to be just fine. He just got to catch a rhythm and he's got to trust. That's going to be the biggest thing for him, is just being able to trust that leg and not overcompensate, because that's how you can really kind of fall into the trap of getting hurt other ways. When you overcompensate on the other leg because you're kind of scared to push off. Do I have the same burst? If he has that trust, and I believe he does, he's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Just fine.
Yeah. And just to go back to where this started in terms of who we need right now. Organic said JB needs to prioritize developing young guys like Dennis and Chaz, not overdoing minutes for underperforming vets. I actually agree. And I'm not saying that it needs to be a ton, but get them minutes, because both of them have the ability to provide the spark. And, again, I'm hoping against the Nets, the 0-7, they might be 0-8 now, Nets. I'm hoping we develop a lead that gives everyone the confidence to play the deep bench, because they deserve it. I want to see it. We know what they're capable of. So I really do agree with you. And that just kind of goes, I've talked to dudes about it. That's the way I would coach, is I would kind of experiment in this weird between time. Yep. So yeah, I do agree with that. And I know we'll get into some of the guys they played instead. So yeah, we'll get there in a second. Just want to shout you out. Give you some flowers. You're getting a lot of comments about how much of an addition you have been to the show. And I could not agree more, guys. Hasn't she been amazing? Hasn't she been amazing? It's been easy. It's been fun. Deuce is great to just talk to you about the Pistons. I just, my friends who aren't really tapped in the NBA are probably like, thank God, because I have to explain everything in order to talk about the game. I have to explain the backstory, all of it. And then you guys have been great too. You've been so fun to just, read your comments, see who's on the same page. I love the perspective. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
100%. We are just getting started, y'all. So much to come. But okay, so let's go ahead and get to some more bench guys. We'll get to a few more and we'll call it a night, boss. Let's get to LeRon. Dog Pound Jr., man. Tonight let's see, he had 9 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 4-7 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3 in 28 minutes. So guys, by the way, Duncan Robinson also had 9 points in 28 minutes. But once again, the impact on the game, right? And not to get on anybody, but just to show you, to illustrate, to compare, you had Duncan Robinson had 2 boards to go along with his 9 points, right? Ron Holland had 6 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block to go along with his 9 points. So the impact, once again, is what we're talking about. If you're going to play that many minutes, you got to bring it on at least one end of the court consistently. So go ahead. I'll let you take off, boss.
Yeah. I mean, That's exactly what you had that same point I did, because we've talked about it. And, you know, I even mentioned earlier in the show, I was like, who would have done better? And you said Ron. I was like, yeah, that's true. I go with Ron. He played 30 seconds less than not Caris, Duncan. He had 2 early fouls and then played great the rest of the time. Play of the year for me was the block. The block, was it on George, right?
Yes.
Deontay, beautiful.
Oh my Lord.
He hit ball before he hit anything else, and that's the way to do it. Took it up and slammed it down. And I was screaming. I mean, like, truly the play of the year. And we've had lots of good plays, but man, and you could tell he just wanted to get going. That's why, you know, he missed a couple shots at the rim early. He just wanted to get going because that's who Ron is. And then of course he finished it off. He had that 3. The rest of the baskets were, you know, at the hoop, and they're one of those again where Kelser might be like, oh my God, he's flying, he's out of control, but then he finishes it because that's who Ron is. But again, I loved what I saw from him. The stat line doesn't do it justice enough. I mean, still impressive, but more in terms of points because we know that he's capable of more. So I mean, I just again loved what I saw, and we talked about it because, you know, we talked about Ron coming in for Duncan in the starting lineup, but he did have he did make up for it, but he had early shooting trouble and early foul trouble, and he made up for it. That's my only concern about, like, is, you know, better off the bench that way. But I think, you know, he deserved to be out there more than Duncan did because he brings both offensive and defense right now. So just always impressed with Ron. Again, play of the year. I mean, I'm gonna rewatch that tonight for sure. Yeah,
for sure.
Beautiful.
And Zion, this is kind of the point. Zion says Ron and Duncan have different roles. A guy isn't chasing Duncan around the whole play to prevent an open 3 from Ron, right? But that's the thing. Ron can be impactful in more ways than just running around screens, taking shots. That's kind of the whole point.
And he's hitting
because if Duncan's not knocking down the 3 ball, he's not really giving you much else. Yeah. That's the difference. That's why he's able to stuff the stat sheet outside of 9 points, which is what I was saying. He can give you so much more if his offense isn't there. And the play that he had was the epitome of who he is, a 2-way potential star. He saw after the pump fake, the shot was coming, and he was ready. He anticipated it and was ready for it. He wasn't worried about a pump fake and getting drawn to foul. He knew it was coming. Yeah. He did it without fouling and showed his athleticism off on the other end. Ball handling, didn't dribble out of bounds, under control. Yeah. Like, so this dude, man, is a 2-way potential star. Yeah. Straight up. I love it. Organic said he is that auto jump start box AAA brings when your battery dies, right? He comes in and gives you that spark. You know he's going to try to be the spark plug, like Organic also said, as soon as he comes to the game, just sets the tone for the second unit. We don't need 2 guys to set the tone for the second unit. We should have one for the first unit and Stu, and another for the second unit and Ron. So Ron was incredible. Go ahead. Yeah. No, I mean, I have nothing to add. I mean, again, he was just so good. And again, like you've talked about, the spark plug, just, you know, again, I'm curious. I'm curious to see how he would perform in the starting lineup, just because I want to see it if he does get the spark going. Because one of our biggest faults is the slow starts. Maybe we don't have slow starts if we have energy like Ron on there. And, you know, Cade's talked about having Ron and Ausar on both sides of him on the wings, and how those guys are unstoppable. So I think that I would like JB to explore that. I don't know if he will. I think they're still just riding out the days. Maybe they know more than we do about J.I.'s return, if it's worth it or not. But I just like wherever he is, he's performing, and that's right. I talked about it. He's our most consistent player so far. Yeah, he's plug and play. He's plug and play. You can put him anywhere within a unit, and he's going to find a way to impact the game. Yes. That's why I love it. That's a basketball player. That's a winning player, right? Same with Stu. You saw him with the second unit. It was great. Defense was great. First unit, same thing. 3 blocks again tonight. Like, so those kind of guys are rare. You don't trade those kind of guys in a package for a star. No, these are the guys you need to win championships if we're trying to get there, for sure. Here's Johnny says, my draft reaction video to Pistons drafting Ron Holland is legendary, FYI. He was and is my guy. Well, shout out to you, bro, because you were one of the few. You were one of the few. Because I'm going to be real, I didn't really pay that much attention to that draft. I knew a couple guys like Miles Buzelis, Don Connect. I was thinking, okay, maybe get a spacer with Connect, another wing with Buzelis. To me, Ron's a better version of Buzelis. Yeah. That's when all my Trajan, my faith in Trajan was really born after we saw what Ron could do and what he brings. Yeah. It's like Trajan with the pick for Ron said, hey, I'm bringing Detroit basketball back to Detroit. Right. That's a great way to put it. I think you're dead on with that. PD says they are dog pound for it. Yes, they have the same mentality. When you got all guys who have the same mentality to do it the same way, you don't mess with that. You don't mess with it. If it's producing on the court and they got a good camaraderie and a good vibe, you don't mess with that. 100% at all. Zion says, I can't believe Ron didn't go number 1. I mean, we may look back a couple years from now and be like, that could be the case. I mean, because who is definitively better than him in this draft? Definitively.
Yeah, I'd say the closest is his buddy Mates, just for what he's doing for the Bulls this year.
Right. There you go. A good point.
Better,
good point.
I think.
Good point.
But yeah, I agree with that.
That's a great point. I think you were dead on with that because they're playing well. The Bulls are playing well right now. I think we're better than them, right? Yeah. I think in the 7-game series we beat them, but you got to give them credit. Ethan says nobody. He said, I think Ron might be the best player of that draft. I think so too, man. I'm starting to lean in that direction because I'm looking around, not really seeing a lot of guys who are impacting the game the way that he is. They may be getting more opportunity. I think Mata starts, right? Doesn't Muzella start?
And he fits well with them. And I think he would have still been a good fit for us. Montes was who I was expecting. But again, like Montes has that dog. They're very similar. They're buddies. I see Ron, the way that Ron impacts is the same that Montes impacts, but differently for the team.
Mm-hmm.
They're very similar. But they weren't they also weren't the number 1 pick. So
exactly.
Bring up
right, bro. We talked about Reed Shepherd. Hey, shout out to Jeremy Hart, man, who has a player he has developed in Danish Jenkins, who I think is just as good, if not better, than Reed Shepherd. Easy. Right? I think he's better, right? But Reed Shepherd went ahead of Ron Holland.
We saw it. We saw Reed Shepherd. He's not a point that can make the right decision. Dennis already is. Dennis knows when to take the shot and when he needs to pass it. Reed tries to be the hero. Dennis doesn't play hero ball.
100%. I feel like with Reed, and it's not to get on him, but Reed, if the initial play is not there, he's just chucking.
Yep.
He's chucking it. But Dennis knows how to make the secondary and tertiary decision out of it if it's not there. And that's the difference for me. And he's a better athlete. And he shoots just as well, in my opinion. He's a better player. But to think that Reed Shepherd went above both Dennis and Ron, and we got both of those guys, shout out Trajan. Shout out to you, bro. For real. Man, oh man. All right, they're saying he's Jimmy Fredette. Wow. Yikes. I won't do that to him. I won't say he's like that because I won't do that. But the point is taken that I think he went way too high in that draft. Reed is the love child of Dennis and Shepherd. I'm dead. I'll take Ron over any of the other guys from that draft. Oh, was Castle in that draft? Stephon Castle? Okay. If so, I'm not mad at that. Like he's a good player for the Spurs.
He's holding it down. He's doing well. There's just a young team also. So but I just think, it's apparent because like Dennis can come in and take control with guys like we have, and Reed Shepherd is struggling in that role as starting point with who he's surrounded with. And you would think that with the playmakers he's surrounded with in Houston, he should be able to
good point.
Make the right place.
KD, Sar. I mean, come on, man. Like we'll leave that alone. We'll leave that alone for sure. But I totally agree. Yeah. So I definitely think Ron has proven doubters wrong. I'm not saying I was a doubter, but I slept on him. I really didn't know who he was before he came to this team. So shout out to him. Shout out Trajan for making that pick. Sounds good. All right. So let's go ahead, guys, and move on to, it was a comment that Organic posted earlier regarding, here we go. He said, Deuce is saving Caris for last like the crescendo of a good movie. I wasn't intentionally doing that, bro. I was going down the line, but that is hilarious. All right, but that is who was last. That is coincidentally who was last tonight.
Touch on Javonte? He got some good minutes. You want to touch on Javonte real quick?
Let's do that first. Let's get to Javonte Green first. Yeah. And then because Organic pointed it out. So we'll crescendo this thing over to Caris LeVert as we get there. So let's go to Javonte Green first. So tonight, guys, Javonte Green had 3 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, all 3 from the field, all 3 from the 3-point line. So all of the shots were threes, couldn't get in the ball. 3-4 from the free throw line in 23 minutes. So what was your reaction to Javonte Green tonight?
I love Javonte. He's been such a good pickup for us this whole season. If this is his off game, okay. He's still, he still played enough minutes where JB felt that he was doing enough for defense. I think he had, some decent plays. He made the right decisions on giving the ball up when he was going to give it to him. He knew he was out there to just, help space, help out, help play D. yeah, not a good game from Javonte overall, but not worried about him. Kind of like the Paul Reed thing. I think he'll bounce back great on Friday. And so,
yeah.
And then, again, he wasn't the weak link of the team. Everyone kind of just fell apart at points, but not a pretty stat line, but he was out there to help on D, and he had more personal fouls, but he did have, they trust him. They trust him on defense because he's a good defender.
Right. Yeah. He didn't play well tonight.
No.
He didn't have a good game, right? If I'm going to call guys like Duncan Robinson, I got to be honest, right? He didn't have a good game. We talk about how if you're going to play that many minutes, you got to be impactful. He wasn't Ron Holland tonight as far as impact.
Yeah.
But he wasn't Duncan Robinson either.
Yeah.
He was kind of in the middle as far as the impact on the game, even though he didn't score as much. He was just a little bit late. Every play, it seems like, on the ones where he got scored on. And honestly, I'll say this too. I don't want to see him gambling defensively. There was a few plays he was trying to play the passing lane, didn't get to it, and now the guy is just right open for the hoop, right? That kind of thing is what you don't want to see. That's how Paul Reed got one of his fouls, which shouldn't have been a foul, right? He trying to help out. Those kind of things I don't want to see him do, right? Just play solid defensively. We always talk about, not needing to hit the home run, which is trying to get the steal and the dunk. Just be solid. Just get the stop. Like Tim Hardaway Jr. did last year for us so often. Just get the stop or force him into a tough shot. That's the only thing on Javonte Green. I was like, you ain't got to do that, bro. Just play solid. Go ahead.
I think it was because he knew that he wasn't having his best game compared to his others, so he was trying to provide that spark. Okay. But I agree because it didn't work. But he's still, what did Ethan say? Ethan said he provided what I expected from the start. The shooting he provided in previous games was a bonus. I think this was his off game. The other games are more him.
I agree.
So, and hopefully, again, that's why I think he was trying to take some risks, kind of put himself out there. But it was because I think he knew that previously he was providing the spark and he was doing his job, and he was it just wasn't there for him tonight. We all have off and and I'm gonna be I can't be mean to any of these guys, even Caris.
We know.
So I'm just gonna say they had an off game, and if he wasn't. Yeah, here, organic. I am an optimist. Thank you.
She is. She is. That's why she's here.
If it was game 8 and this is how he's playing through 8 games, then I'm like, okay, you've had your chances. But this is game 8 and he's played great 6 out of 8 of them. So
he's allowed to have a bad game or two. He's played pretty solid minutes every game this year. Yeah. So to your point, they trust him.
Yep.
They trust him defensively. Tonight he looked a little bit uncharacteristic, like Organic mentioned, getting beat on backdoor cuts. That doesn't usually happen.
Yeah.
Even him gambling for getting the passing, that doesn't usually happen.
Yeah.
So like to your point, I think he was trying to do a little bit too much. But as a vet, you got to know better than that. Like I'll let Ron get away with that last game, couple games where he didn't play well, or he was trying to make up for it and he was kind of making it worse. As a vet, you got to kind of know, okay, let me just settle in and be solid. Totally. I'm not having a great game. Let me not try to overcompensate now and try to have a great game. Let me just have a solid game and just play straight up. So that's the only thing on him. But like you said, he's allowed to have a bad game or two. So I'm not mad at him.
He'll bounce back.
He'll bounce back.
He's going to bounce back on Friday. Watch.
Okay.
I just have to eat my words a little bit because I've told people, I was like, go watch how he plays defense. He doesn't let people go by. He doesn't let people shoot. And that's exactly what he did tonight. Right. So it just wasn't him. It wasn't him. So.
Yeah. And that's okay. Yeah, it's okay. All right, guys. Crescendo time. I know y'all waiting on this. All right, guys. So let's get to our last guy for this game. Caris LeVert. Caris LeVert, guys. So tonight, Caris LeVert finished with 10 points on 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 3 turnovers on 3 for 8 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 2 of 4 from the free throw line in 19 minutes. Boss, tee it off.
Caris. He got me so excited.
Real quick.
You gonna say hi to Ashton? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay. My dog. Hey, 67, 6'7". What's going on, bro? We talked about it last year. Last year, they had Cade as 67th overall player in the league. And now he's going to be at least second team All-NBA. So they're eating their crow, like we just talked about. Shout out to him. Yeah, see? Yes, sir. You know it, bro. Let us know your thoughts on tonight's game, bro. What did you see from Cade, from the workouts y'all put in? How was it for you watching Deuce take over these last 2 games, 19 points in the fourth quarter, these last 2 games closing? We always know, AB, everybody else said, Cade can't close. Cade got these turnovers, not a point guard. So how is it for you, dog, watching him these last 2 games now just take him over. So we'll come back to you if you're still here. If you want to chime in, by all means, do that. We appreciate you showing up, bro. All right, boss, take off.
I'm sure you're gonna need a nice way to end after this Caris conversation.
Right? Oh man, go ahead, get to it.
I'm gonna pop off of what Ethan said too. So, no, that's not Ethan. I'm still giving Caris grace. Remember, 20+ games last year for our vets. So I've been saying that too, and I'm still gonna say it. Except Caris had a great first half. He hit 2 back-to-back threes. He made good calls. For a while, what he was doing, his mistakes, he would make up for.
Right.
So I was okay with it. And then it just kind of went downhill.
Yep.
And for me, I've been a Caris supporter. So for me, the most frustrating thing about Caris was like, I was watching him do this and be like, I know you're better than this.
Right.
Like, I know you're better than this. So that's just kind of where I'm at with Caris, because I can't say anything about him yet because this isn't Caris to me. This isn't the LeVert that he's going to be for us.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give him grace as well. But also, it was rough. It was a rough second half. I'm happy he got minutes.
Yeah.
I think like just getting minutes at least, that's an improvement.
Yep.
But like we've talked about, like maybe his minutes should have been cut by 5 minutes and we threw in Dennis. We threw in something else. We experimented a little bit more. But I liked the first half, didn't like the second half. And I just hope, whatever it is, he figures out, because I know that he can. I'm just going to give grace to him like Ethan.
Okay.
And yeah, and I know the critics and stuff, but I was just more, for me, it was just more just like I was disappointed in him because I know he's better and I'm excited for him to show all of Detroit fans that either doubt him or don't know him yet. I'm excited for him to pop off and for them to see what he can do for us. So that was just more for me. It's like he started strong. If he would have finished strong, it would have been a Caris game. But it was a Caris half and then nothing. So
for sure.
I'll let you take it over because you're gonna have the better criticisms from me because it's just hard for me.
I'm gonna keep it a stat. You already know.
Yep.
You already know. I can't lie. I can tell you what my eyeballs can see. Before we get there, guys, if anybody has not already been hip to Ashton the Trainer, this is Cade Cunningham's cousin and trainer who has been with him since day one. And he has always supported us, since we started a few years ago. And so we always give it right back to him. So everybody drop some fire emojis in the chat for our dog, Ashton the Trainer. Go follow him on Instagram and Twitter, Ashton the Trainer. So Ashton, AB says, it's beautiful to see, bro. He works his ass off and wants to bring a championship back to the D. See, that's what I'm talking about. And we talked about it a little bit last show, but we know there's some players around the league who are going through some problems, some superstars going through problems. When you got a Cade Cunningham, you ain't got to worry about a guy getting suspended for conduct detrimental to the team.
Yeah.
Like, not only is he a supreme athlete, but he's a supreme human.
Mm-hmm.
He's a supreme person that cares about everybody else and puts them before him. So to see him doing this now, when he first got drafted, Ashton was the one that's saying, we're going to turn Detroit up. We're going to turn Detroit up, right? You didn't see him getting upset because he didn't get drafted by, the Rockets and playing in Texas. Like, he wanted to be here. So it's just so nice, guys, to see him being able to reap the benefits, and not just him, but his family, AB, Ashton, Cannon, Kennard, Jalen, his parents, Kate, like everybody. It's just nice to see them all be able. You said who?
Riley.
Oh, Riley. Yeah. Everybody. Yeah. Baby girl, everybody, all of them. So it's just nice to see that, they've embraced us and we've embraced them right back, and they have gone through it. They didn't jump off the boat, right? Like Kay said during the street, said, don't jump off the boat. That would have been a time for him to really have that suspension that some players may have gotten that's detrimental to the team. But he said he just stayed right there and said, nope, we're going to be all right. We just got to stick with it. So a shout out to you, bro. A shout out to the whole family. You guys are representing the city of Detroit very, very well. And we couldn't be happier to have y'all here, man. And whenever you're ready, bro, I'm ready for you to come on the show, man. Come holler at me in Boston. And we'd love to have you on for a little bit like we did a couple years ago. It's by time, man. So let me know.
All we have to do.
Just let me know. Let us know, man. We got you. But once again, shout out to AB, man, and the whole family. Y'all saying AB to go. Yes, sir. All the fire emojis. So as you can see, bro, you still getting the love on a regular basis. We always, talking positive about you guys because y'all deserve it. Right? We call it like we see it. We don't just gas up. You know this already, but we don't just gas up. Boss know I keep it a stack. Yep. Sometimes I'm blunt to a fault, right? But I'm gonna call it like I see it. So y'all know what it is, man. So love. Okay, now we're gonna switch and go to what I saw from Caris LeVert tonight, man. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Y'all know I have been very much so in defense of Caris LeVert, right? Because I'm always saying, like, you can't judge a player first 4 or 5 games of the year. Like, me and King always kind of do it in 10 to 20 game kind of increments, especially guys who are new, right? We know last year Malik wasn't swinging out the gate. THJ wasn't on fire early. Tobias Harris struggled early. All guys who were new here, right? So I wasn't going to just panic because Caris wasn't playing great out the gate. But after about 4 or 5 games, even though I have seen some incremental growth from him and he's getting a little bit more comfortable, I want to see more. Yeah. I want to see a little bit more. He had an uneven game tonight for sure, right? Now, to his credit, he was the Pistons' leading scorer early enough in that second quarter. He had 10 points, and I think Cade had like 6.
Yeah.
So he was balling early. But we said, like, kind of like with Ausar, it's kind of the up and down, He makes some great plays and then some questionable plays. Go ahead.
I just have a quick question. Was this the first game he wasn't on minutes restriction?
I don't know. He played how many tonight? How many he played tonight? He played 19, so he still didn't play a ton.
I think 20 minutes is his thing, and I'm glad that he hit that. But I just was thinking about that because, again, like, that's also a rhythm thing when you know that you have a limit of time. So
yeah, that's true. No, you're right. That's a good point. Organic says Blaha actually called him careless by accident tonight. Come on, man.
Blaha was calling Filipowski Markkinen.
That's true. That's true. It's year 50 for George, man. We got to give him a break. He a legend. We ain't doing that. Yeah, we ain't doing that.
I'm just saying, he can misspeak about anyone. I'm not going to take it at heart.
Come on, man. 50 years, bro. That's twice as old as most of us here probably been alive. So we ain't going to do that. But I just want to see a little bit more consistency with Caris. He had some nice flashes, some nice plays, right? Nice lefty scoop at the rim, back-to-back threes like Heisenberg mentioned. But then as soon as you would think he's going to really go off and pop off, bad turnover, caught in the air, trying to make a pass, or ill-advised air ball 3. Right. So I just want to see some more consistency from him with his decision-making. We know the talent's there, right? And I'm not even panicking. No. I'm just acknowledging what I've seen because I've given him some rope the first few games when y'all were trying to jump off the boat with him, right? But I'm like, okay, yeah, you gotta show us a little more now, bro. Like, come on, it's time to catch a rhythm now. You're a vet, right? You played for Coach Bickerstaff before. So not that we're panicking, but just show me what you're made of. Show me what you're made of. And I think with time, he will continue to do it, even if it's not as quickly as I and many of you guys here in the chat want to see. But I'm still okay with Caris LeVert. I think he's gonna be okay.
Yeah. I agree. And that's kind of where I'm at too. And I know it wasn't, perfect, but thinking about the minutes restriction, he's still, he had more points. He had 10 points. He was double digits, he'll get there. And I do, it feels like game 8, but he has only played, is this his 4
or 5, right? Yeah. 1 of the 2.
I think it's just, he's played half the
4?
game.
Okay.
Yeah. Cause he played the last 3, right? And then played the first one.
Right.
So, he had like his best in the second quarter and then like his worst. So he's going to find that in between. And I just advise no one to panic. Like Ethan said, give it 20 games and his role is going to change too when Ivey comes back. Like we're going to see something shift. And I think, JB playing him for 19 minutes was big too. I do.
Yeah.
I think that just showed that, he was just kind of split down the middle in terms of what he did tonight.
Yeah.
And I talked about it. It's just a little disappointing because we know where he can get, but
and then too, like I think a lot of people for whatever reason thought that, and I could be wrong, but it felt to me like when we got him, people thought he was just going to be Malik Beasley.
That was weird.
And he's not. Like they're 2 totally different players with 2 totally different roles. Like Bees is a catch and shoot guy who can put the ball on the floor in spots.
Yeah.
But Caris is more a guy who's getting his offense off the dribble.
Yeah.
And can make plays. You know what I mean? For others at times. It's kind of the reverse offensively with those 2 guys. We know Caris isn't the shooter that Bees is, but I feel like Caris has more playmaking abilities once he's comfortable. So, because I heard a lot of people saying, we need Bees back. We need Bees back when it comes to Caris. It's like, I feel like we definitely need Bees back. We could use them for sure, but not because of Caris. We just need Bees back, period.
Yeah.
Right?
And
so, go ahead.
I didn't pay attention to it too much, but the fact that it wasn't super unnoticeable or super noticeable is probably a good thing, but he is a defender too.
That's true.
Maybe it did shape him to be a defender, and he did have a steal. And Heisenberg mentioned he took some guys off the dribble. So just, not a perfect night, but he did have his impact out there. So
right.
To think he's just a totally different player than the shooters that we lost last year. Even to THJ, like that's just not Caris. Caris is a better mid-range. He's better at getting to the rim. The fact that he hit 2 threes is actually very impressive to me because I wasn't expecting that from him, because I'm expecting him to get, his points in the paint or in the mid-range. So I think he'll figure it out. He'll be okay. But I get why some people are a little anxious and a little disappointed, because it was kind of like an up and down, like a dopamine hit. And then it's like, oh, finally. Because even I texted you. I was like, it's a Caris game.
Right.
It felt like that for a solid 4 minutes. It felt like it's going to turn into a Caris game, and it didn't. And again, I will say, a lot of weaknesses in a lot of areas. So sometimes when nothing's going for a lot of guys, it just feeds off as well. Yeah. Because if he was really popping off, I think it would have been a different vibe for tonight too. But there was something about tonight that didn't see everyone get going. Right.
Let's get a few comments in here. I think your point is very well taken. Doug says, I just want Jaden. I do too, bro. I think when he comes back, it's just going to change so much. We're going to see the offense look a lot more robust because of his dual threat ability to be able to handle and create for others and shoot. So not too many guys on this team who can do all three of those things. So I think him coming back is going to, like maybe Ethan says, make it a little bit easier for guys like Caris LeVert to really get going. Right. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out for sure. Let's get to this too. Mark Glenn, shout out Mark. He says, man, Deuce, I was at the game today. When I tell you Stewart is always the difference maker, man. What he did protecting the rim gave us that spark, and we kept feeding off his energy. He big time. Exactly. The impact, guys. The impact, and he fits the identity. For the 1,000th time, y'all probably tired of hearing me say it, but Isaiah Stewart fits the identity to a T, and he fits with this starting lineup, and he fits with Jalen Duren. He just fits all around. So I hope he does continue to start, and I hope that if we need to go get another backup big, we do that, as opposed to putting Tobias back at the 4 and putting Stu back at the 5 off the bench. It doesn't make sense to me. I think it's glaringly evident how important he is to helping to set that tone early in games and hit first, like we want to do. So
I like this question by Organic Lindo. Would you guys rather develop Danis for his upside or see Caris get extra minute when he's struggling?
So now I think that is situational, Organic. I think that is situational. I do not think Stu starting alongside JD is situational. I think he should just start. But I think this is situational because Caris is a little bit bigger. He's a little bit bigger. So I think in certain matchups, if the backup point guard or shooting guard is, if they're going big with the second unit, maybe you want to go with Caris. Right. But I think if you're playing a speed, like if you're playing against a Boston Celtics who has a Peyton Pritchard or something like that, man, I'm putting Danis in the game, letting him go.
Yeah.
I'm letting him go. Go ahead.
I think this is in reference to tonight too, because we were like, me and you both said we wanted to see Danis, and then Caris got almost 20 minutes. I would say, I think the way that he performed in the second quarter is what gave him the rest of his minutes. Yeah. I think if he didn't come out and perform like that immediately, then I still don't know if Danis would have gotten to play, but that's when I would like to see him. I also wouldn't mind a Danis and Caris combination because that's just another spacing for me. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I don't see Danis being in there and Caris not. Like if Danis is in there, it's because the other unit is usually. Okay. So I that's a hard one for me though, because I would love to see Danis. Yeah, I think a lot of people are developed Danis, and I'm
glad you guys see it. Go ahead.
Yeah, same, and that's where I'm at. But I don't think that Caris, this isn't going to be his regular. And I just think that JB wasn't, unless we had a big lead, he wasn't going to play his deep guys. But if I was in charge, I would definitely put Danis in the second half. And I don't know if it would be for Caris, but I would just definitely gotten him some minutes. So
yeah. And then too, Caris makes $16 million a year. I hate to bring up money, but that does play a part sometimes as far as, not always, because I'm saying start Stu over Tobias, and we know who makes more, you know what I mean? So not always, but I'm just wondering how that may play a part into it as far as just wanting to reap the benefits of using that cap space, right? Well, so go ahead.
He may just be trying to warm Caris up to get in the lineup more. Again, maybe. He was injured, then he was on minutes restriction. So he's probably just trying to see where Caris fits into this lineup right now. And Caris is a priority over Danis.
Yeah. It
is. So but yeah, I mean, I would love to see both. I would love to see
exactly.
I mean, not keep Caris in the struggle, but Caris coming in and doing his job and doing it well and being efficient and consistent, like you said, consistency. And then, but I'm hoping for a Friday game against the Nets that will allow everybody on our bench to play. So
yeah, and then I think that'll happen for sure. Yeah. I want to get to one last comment we can call it a night.
Yeah.
MB Well says, is Jaden really needed as a player or as a player to package for a major asset? The former, not the latter.
Yeah.
Definitely as a player. I don't understand, like, and this is not against you, MB Well. I don't understand why people don't see the fit with Jaden and Cade. I don't think they understand how well he works well with the skill set that Cade has.
Yep.
Because people always say we need more spacers. Cade needs spacers. That's fine. But when guys are catching the ball out of a double team, if their shot's not falling, what are they going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, we know Duncan's a great shooter. If he's not shooting mode, then what?
Yeah.
But you got a guy like Jaden Ivey who shot 40% from three last year and can handle the ball and can make great secondary plays for others off the catch. Yeah. He's a perfect player for what Cade Cunningham needs. He'd have been a perfect player in the playoffs last year. They're either going to pay for doubling Cade or not double Cade because they know what Jaden's going to do, which means Cade has ISO all day long.
Yeah.
It's the perfect situation. We just haven't seen it enough. Haven't seen it enough. That's literally the only problem.
That's where I'm going with it, because Jaden and Cade have not been able to play together because of injuries to both of them. Jaden played outside of his role as a shooting guard by being our main point guard in the year and a half that Cade was injured.
Yep.
So we saw good things from Ivey then. We saw him really, and then he was benched for Killian Hayes.
Yeah.
And then, because that could have been a good development time, but
great point. Could have been a great development time. Great point. Go ahead.
But now it's JI and Cade, and we're just waiting for JI to get healthy again. They were in that role at the beginning of last year before his injury, and his numbers last year were good, guys. And I want to know, and again, this isn't to whoever posed the question, but I'm curious of how we should have kept Schroeder and we should trade Jaden Ivey. Are those the same people? Because that doesn't make sense to me. Because Schroeder is a great player and he came through for us when we needed him, but Ivey, he's not better than Ivey in the role that we need Ivey to be.
No, he's not better, period, in my opinion. But go ahead.
So when Ivey comes back and can be the shooting guard and move off ball, and he's going to provide, then Ausar doesn't have to be the main ball handler. He's going to be able to bring it up the court better for Cade. It's going to make a huge difference. And they do feed off each other. And Ivey and Duren had a lob connection as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Ivey, someone mentioned in the comments, like Ivey and Caris might be good. Like Ivey can just provide so many more scenarios, but him and Cade are going to play so well off of each other. They just really have not had the opportunity, because Ivey hasn't even had the opportunity to play where he wants to play for an entire season.
Exactly. And think about this too. We talk about closers, right? How Cade has become a closer this year.
Yeah.
We have 4 game winners last year. 2 were Cade and 2 were Jaden Ivey. We would have 2 closers on the court at all times in closing moments. And we think about Jaden Ivey. We know Cade did what he did, right? Against the Heat and against the Hawks, right? But here's the thing. Jaden Ivey hit buckets in both of those games that he hit the game winner against the Kings. He made the shot before the 4-point play.
Yeah.
Right? Against the Raptors, he made the layup before the game winner. People forget that.
And
this dude is a gamer in big moments. And one more thing. He's also a good free throw shooter. Yeah. Tonight you saw when Cade got double teamed and they were trying to get double and they were fouling. Ausar was the only one who they could trust to kind of handle the basketball, because you don't trust Duncan to handle the ball out of a double team, right? But so Ausar was the one they went to, but Ausar can't shoot free throws well. Yeah. But you got a guy like Jaden Ivey who can handle and who can shoot free throws well. That's what you want. He has literally everything you want next to Cade Cunningham, man.
Just to go off of what you said, I have to say the 2 game winners that Cade had came after Ivey's injury. The 2 before, Cade was playing. Actually, I don't know if he was playing in the Raptors game, but he was in the Kings game. They trusted Ivey.
Yeah.
They trusted Ivey to close it out, not Cade. Cade gave it to Ivey. And then he was already looking better on his turnover ratios. He was looking better at driving the basket, making decisions.
Defense.
Yeah. Ivey should not be in any kind of trade packages at this time. No. I think he's going to come back and show you guys. Him and Duren are both going to get extended at the end of this year by this team.
I think so too. I think so too. And even the defense, like Jaden, the effort is never lacking. He's not a great defender yet. I think he's about an average defender now, but he's got all the tools to be a really good defender.
Yep.
He's super athletic. The play where Cade hit the game winner over the Hawks, that lefty scoop over like 3 guys, Jalen Williams and not Jalen Williams, but what's his name? Jalen Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
And those other guys over after that shot, right? And you know how Cade came over help side to block the shot at the end. That was a pass from Trae Young. But why was Trae Young passing the ball? He had J.I. at the top of the key, and J.I. forced him to pass the ball. It wasn't where he was out of position and Trae Young made the shot. No, J.I. was right there in front of him. So he has the ability. He's got the physical tools and he's got the want to. Now it's about getting the reps. And I think he's going to be an above average defender in his prime to go along with the offensive that he gives you. So D Davis says, here's my thing. If Ivey never gotten hurt, we wouldn't even, if he didn't get hurt, if he wasn't benched for Killian Hayes, all these ifs.
Yes.
If was a fifth, I'd be drunk.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, you got to look at it for what it is and just give these guys an opportunity. And that's what Trae Young is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see. We'll all see by the end of the year. It'll make sense. Yeah. So that's all I got, man. Yeah. Doug says, thank you, Sarah and Deuce. We love you guys. Thanks, we just keep it a stack, man. But you guys, like D Davis, you guys making great points as well. Like, it is what it is, man. Now we just got to wait and see and let it play out. So you got anything else on that, boss?
Nope.
We 2 hours in now, so I think we can call it.
Yeah. I will say, sadly, I'm not going to be here Friday for the Nets.
You killing me.
But it's for a good reason. I get to go to the cup game, the tournament cup game, versus the Warriors. I get
you can't miss that.
Steph Curry. I know.
You can't miss that.
I could sell my ticket for like a huge profit, but it's priceless. Priceless to see Curry go against Jokic.
Yeah.
So I gotta go. But the Nets, it's about. I'll be able to watch most of the game. I'll be on Twitter, which I have now. X.
Yes. Go follow her.
Yeah, so I'll be on there for my thoughts because I think the Nets game's at 7:30 Eastern, and then the Denver game's at 10 o'clock Eastern. So I'll be able to catch most of it, give my thoughts. Hopefully, it's a great first half. It makes me not worry about the second half at all, which it should be against the 0-7/8 Nets
/8 after Friday.
Cam Johnson, who scored 40 points and 0 assists.
Sheesh. Golly.
Not Cam Johnson, Cam Thomas on the Nets.
I thought you meant Cam Johnson with the I was like, okay.
I was talking about Cam Thomas.
40 and 0.
and then MPJ is easy, guys. He's easy. Just, but yeah, so I'm bummed that I'll miss that. But then I'll be around. Oh no, I'll be around for the most of November. My next game wouldn't be till the end, which is another one where I get to see a cup game versus the Spurs.
Ooh, you got some good games on that slate. I ain't mad at you. I'll probably be going too, low key.
I would never ditch you guys for like the Wizards or Hornets or anything.
Man, if you did, I'll be kind of concerned. Yeah. But no, as always, we appreciate your presence, and you guys make sure you go follow the boss on X and on Instagram. Sarah Basketball with an O on X and SARLOUBOS, sorry, on Instagram, IG. So you guys make sure you go follow her. She's got great content. She's like the stat baby over here. You know what I'm saying? She's got it all taken care of and making sure that we are on our P's and Q's with our information and facts. So I appreciate you as always. Yeah. So with that, guys, we will call it a night. As she mentioned, up next for the Pistons are the Brooklyn Nets on Friday, November 7th. And we will be right back here to break it all down. And as we mentioned last show, guys, the upcoming matchup with the Nets is going to be the Pistons' first NBA Cup game of pool play. So we talked about that last show, guys, how the NBA Cup, I think the Pistons should try to go for it. Mm-hmm. I think they should really try to go for it, make a name for themselves, play some competitive basketball, start turning their heads around the league because people are paying attention to the NBA Cup. Yeah. And we know last year the Bucks won the NBA Cup and they weren't anywhere near the best team. And they beat the Thunder. So anybody could beat anybody. Do
you remember? That's what I was trying to tell you when I was watching Instagram. They were in our group.
Right.
They were the only one to beat us in our group. That's how close we were. Right.
Exactly. So we gotta win that group. If we win our group, we get to the elimination rounds and it's March Madness all over again. And we can literally make some noise. So we'll see how it plays out. But they will do well to put themselves in that position to go ahead and try to win that. But once again, guys, we thank you for showing up and showing out as you guys always do. Been a very good stream. We did not mean to go over 2 hours. We try to keep it about an hour to an hour and a half, but it's hard when y'all have good comments like this and y'all get us riled up, right? So
all these questions, I gotta answer them.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna leave y'all hanging, but we appreciate you guys showing up, man. So we will leave it there. Because of our dog AB showing up, guys, we are going to end this stream with the Forgot About Cade outro that I made about 2.5 years ago when he had his season-ending injury, and I was like, okay, y'all just wait for it. Y'all see. Y'all gonna forget and y'all gonna be reminded. So we're gonna end it with that, guys. But once again, Have a great night. Everybody be safe. We will see you guys on Friday. And y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. Peace. Rewind 2021. There was a parade in my city. Number one pick, dancing in the street. Everybody was hitting the gritty. Cade arrived in the D, and it was live as can be. They can ball, but we didn't want Green, Mobley, or Scotty B. No, when he got hurt, everyone lost it. Storylines leaking, no faucet. Caught him washed when he broke his tibia. All the haters, time to get it ready, yeah. Everybody wanna be Skip Bayless. Wanna throw shade, okay, say less. Dudes went number one for a reason. It'll click by the end of the season. When he wins most improved player. Gonna be a movie, here's the trailer. Don't say I didn't try to warn ya. Co-signed by Win Benyama.
Cade Cunningham.
He was raised a Texan, but now he's Detroit flexing. Team USA, he was killing them. Got him effed up, let me quote Eminem. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move and live. That's a bunch of gibberish and money lovers act like they forgot about Cade. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move and live. That's a bunch of gibberish and money lovers act like they forgot about Cade. Forgot about Cade, they forgot about Cade. Forgot about, how you forget about Cade?